Sleepy town settled for the night, where every lawn is tailored just right. And it's about time that the back porch light comes on. At that house down the street, at that house on Magnolia Street.
Yeah, so I gotta
drinking your water.
I've been drinking my water. I haven't been drinking coffee. I've been a very limited diet.
Are you drinking anything caffeinated like green tea?
Nothing.
No. Wow.
Water's
That's
all I've been
crazy.
drinking.
Oh my God.
Water's all I've been drinking.
That's
like 3-4 of these a day.
Do you feel like you can concentrate more or have more energy? Have you come down off of the caffeine withdrawal?
I don't know if I would say like I was that much of a coffee addict that I would have withdrawals. I only had like 1 cup in the morning.
Okay.
I was never the type that was like, I need like 5 cups of coffee a day. Like,
What would you drink during the day?
Now that you think about it, I'm probably severely dehydrated because I didn't drink during the day.
Yeah.
I would have my coffee in the morning and then I would like fucking raw dog it all fucking day.
Oh no.
So my liver's probably like, bitch, you need water.
You need a little like water Tamagotchi to take care of, aka your body.
I am my own Tamagotchi that I have failed miserably at.
You poor thing.
Oh, yeah, it's one more thing that I'm like, I don't fucking need this right now.
I know.
But I got my fraud wiped off my credit card and they sent me my new one, so I just got that email yesterday.
Oh, good. Moana.
I'm a fucking hot mess right now.
You're cracking me up.
It happens. This too shall pass.
It will. It's all temporary.
Yeah. This is like, whoa, 2025. Woohoo. Fires in LA. Woohoo.
Dude, by the time this comes out, have we said RIP to TikTok when this comes out?
I don't know.
Because it'll be out the 17th, so there's like 2 more days. I told Aaron, I was like, you're going to let me have this because I only have a week left to download all this shit.
That's why I was
TikTok for 9
until
more days.
I passed out on the couch early and then I woke up at 3 to feed the cats. And then I was like, I'm just going to scroll.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was scrolling for like 2 hours and then I went back to sleep.
This episode's dedicated to TikTok.
So
And
sad.
what's the joke been? Like my Chinese spy and my FBI agent who have been watching me.
Yeah, I'm going to miss you.
I'm going to miss you. And I hope that you guys fall in love and it will be the best enemies to lovers story ever.
You want to hear something else fucking hilarious?
What?
So there's this app called Red Note.
I've heard.
And
Okay,
people
what
are
is it?
saying that it's the actual Chinese version of TikTok.
Mhm.
So you go on there and it's just like Chinese people cooking food, but like crazy shit, like skinning turtles alive and like some like crazy ass backwoods shit. And people are like, I don't know what this is, but like if we can get back at the government by using the actual version of TikTok and watching all this Chinese shit, then
Oh my God.
it would be the best form of protest that
Yeah. Are you going to download it?
maybe just to see what the fuck is going on. But like I was reading comments and they were fucking hysterical. And I like weighed in and I was like, I bet Americans learning Mandarin this year was not on the US government's bingo card.
Right.
Because if everybody's flocking to that app and like one other person was like, yeah, I downloaded it and I was reading comments and it seems like some TikTok refugees have already infiltrated the Red Note space.
Yeah.
if we just like slowly take over that app, I don't know. And then there's
I'm
like
scared.
other things popping up. Like there's this app called Neptune that people are talking about. It's not even out yet. Like they're beta testing it right now and it doesn't even come out till the spring.
Whoa. Okay.
But that one's been circulating and that one is developed by a woman and it's got like the same kind of like doom
Swiping.
scroll feature as TikTok, but they also have this like toggle thing where you can control like how much of your friends videos you see or how much of like randomness you see and like there's like toggle bars where you can control your algorithm, so
Okay.
that seems kind of cool. So but that's not even out yet, like people are just beta testing it, so I'm interested to see where that one goes.
I hope we have options. How am I going to learn anything?
Yeah.
I learn so much.
Yeah. Hey, which hey?
Anyway, hey,
I'm Justina.
I'm Kristina.
Welcome to Magnolia Street, your one and only practical magic inspired musically. Wow, I fucked that up. That's what I get for just winging it because I have to. I'm scrolling down
Improv.
right now to find the spot because I lost my spot.
You're fine.
Yeah, your one and only musically inspired practical magic fandom podcast.
Every week, we deep dive on different aspects of the movie and the books, as well as treat your ears to our very own practical magic inspired original music.
Yeah, so last week we dove into the film and talked about the significance of Sally's Amos Veritas love spell, specifically when she says his favorite shape will be a star, and we talked all about the correlation between Gary's star badge, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And we also covered the star's connection to like the number 6 because it was the 6th thing in her little journal, as well as the star card of the tarot, which we're going to talk about here shortly. So I really liked how kind of loosey goosey we had that episode. It took us down some like really interesting little hypotheticals.
Yeah, it did. So yeah, we also got into Gary's sheriff's badge and why law enforcement badges look the way they do. So we left off on that bit last week, but we're gonna get into a little more of the tarot now. We talked, like you said, we talked a little bit about that last week.
The other thing we learned was Alan. Aiden, Alan Silvestrian, Alan Menken, Aiden.
I thought you were going to say
birthday.
Alan Hoffman.
Alan Hoffman. Aiden Quinn's birthday was March 8th, 1959. So that's why they must have thrown in the March 8th, 1998.
That's right. I bet he ad-libbed that line and they were probably like, pick a date, and he was probably like, all right, I'll just go with my birthday. Initially, I forget what episode we did this on, we were speculating that it was the date that they were filming that scene, right? Because we did like some math and figured that they were filming those scenes on like a backlot on that date.
Yeah.
Right.
We also talked about maybe it was Diane Weiss who ad-libbed the summer solstice line, and that's why it wasn't lining up.
But then we figured out that the bit about the summer solstice was actually in the script. So
okay.
We debunked that one.
Okay, I forgot.
Yeah. So we're gonna get a little more into the tarot now.
Does Joseph's tarot deck have the star that we can read from, and then we can just talk about the star in general?
There is a card in Joseph's Practical Magic Inner Witch Oracle deck by Grounded by the Moon, and this card, however, is called Symbols, but the symbol on the card is Gary's badge. It is the star badge. But for the movie, they did do the 5-pointed star, probably, as we talked about before the break, probably to coincide more closely with that of the witch's pentacle.
You know what we didn't mention was the flower that Sally pulls when she says his favorite shape will be a star, is that little like star jasmine. We didn't even mention that.
Was that a 5-pointed? Were those 5-pointed petals? Yeah.
Let me go look.
We'll have to,
You keep talking.
That. Okay. All right. So while you look that up, I'm going to read the meaning of this card of Joseph's deck. So the name of this card is Symbols, not necessarily the star. The symbol on this card is the sheriff's badge, and the mantra is believe and also empower. So this says, know that whatever you believe can and does have power. Know your strength. Know your power. You need to believe in yourself and power yourself. Your magic is only as strong as you believe it is. Right now, you are being asked to look at how much energy and effort you put into your own beliefs. Embrace yourself and all that you hold true. Do just that and believe within. So the pentacle is a great magical and powerful symbol, a 5-pointed star encompassed by a circle. Witches use the power within for protection as well as a greater connection to the 5 elements. Use the power of this symbol or create your own, and utilize the power of sigil magic to empower your energy and magic. And the mantra on this card is, what I believe has power, and I believe in myself. Yeah.
So the movie flower has 6 petals. So not
6
5, but it's
petals.
still a star. And we still talked about the 6-pointed star. We'll have more on that later, right?
There you go. Yeah, and that's kind of synonymous with everything that Gary has come to learn, that what he believes has power. And it did have power. It literally did stop a criminal in his tracks. Do we want to continue with this little bit about the
Please do. Yeah, because
star?
I don't read reverse, but this includes
Okay.
if you do pull the star, what it means
Okay.
in upright and reverse.
All right, so yeah, generally in the tarot, the star presented in the upright position offers profound insight into the depths of one's personhood. As a person, this card signifies a soul that exudes hope, optimism, and spiritual rebirth. The individual embodies a radiant light that illuminates the darkness of life's challenges, inspiring others with their profound wisdom. They possess an unwavering belief in the power of the universe and its ability to guide them toward their highest potential. The star person exudes serenity and tranquility, exuding a gentle yet compelling aura that draws others toward their healing energy. And we're going to talk about auras next week. So with boundless compassion and empathy, they offer solace and encouragement to those who have lost their way. It is through their unique combination of resilience and vulnerability that they nourish the spirits of others and restore faith in the beauty of life's journey. As far as the upright position goes, if you pull a card upright, the star card signifies an individual with a radiant presence and an aura of grace, vitality, and inner beauty. Their magnetic charm inspires hope and serenity, drawing others to their luminous and almost celestial qualities. As far as emotional characteristics, this person embodies resilience and optimism, offering light even in the darkest moments. Compassionate and understanding, they have a deep emotional capacity cultivated through overcoming adversity, making them a beacon of positivity for others. Perhaps that's why Sally and Jillian were able to get one over on Gary, because he is so compassionate and understanding, right?
I think later on we're going to discover a little bit more about Kylie and her relationship to the star, because Alice specifically says something about the two connected.
Okay. As far as the book mentions go?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Going back to the upright tarot meanings, as a love interest or partner, the star symbolizes a partner who brings healing, tranquility, and emotional growth. Their nurturing presence creates a safe space for renewal, fostering harmony and mutual support in the relationship. And you kind of see that with like Gary and Sally a little bit. Like, Sally saw a safe space in Gary, and even though he was a man of the law, she had enough trust in him and found that much safe space in him that she felt comfortable enough to confide in him, even though she knows like what her and her sister did was against the law, and like he could very well just like take them to jail right then and there.
She is such a closed off person too, compared to, you know, how the aunts act and how Jillian acts. Sally is plays it very safe.
Right. And the way that she was able to open up to him, I think that just shows like how much of like a safe space that she found in him. So as a family member represented by the star uplifts loved ones with their optimism and resilience, they provide a source of encouragement, creating harmony and nurturing bonds within the family. As a colleague or business partner, this card represents a visionary who inspires creativity and positivity in the workplace. They guide others through challenges with optimism and grace, motivating their team to achieve their highest potential. So now we're going to flip it and reverse it and talk about the reversal of the star card reading. Okay. So as a person, in reverse, the star reflects disillusionment, self-doubt, or a loss of hope. It urges the individual to confront setbacks, seek support, and rediscover their inner strength and optimism. So the physical characteristics, the reverse star may indicate fatigue, reduced vitality, or neglect of physical well-being. It serves as a reminder to prioritize health and restore balance between body and spirit. Emotionally, this person might feel disconnected or uncertain, struggling to trust their emotions. This card encourages reflection and seeking support to regain emotional stability and hope. As a love interest or partner reversed, the star suggests challenges or uncertainty in a relationship. Communication and mutual effort are needed to address issues, restore faith, and rekindle the connection. As a family member, this card indicates disconnection or disappointment within family dynamics. However, it reminds the individual of the potential for healing, forgiveness, and renewed harmony. And lastly, as a colleague or business partner, a reverse star card reflects doubt or disillusionment in professional pursuits. It encourages reassessment, renewed focus, and trust in one's abilities to overcome challenges and shine again.
You read more tarot than I do. Do you do reversals?
I typically don't. When I took my tarot course with Kristen, she didn't read reversals, so she didn't teach reversals.
Okay.
I usually cull through my deck before I do read a reading, and I make sure nothing is reversed, and then I shuffle. I feel like if the energy is present, you'll kind of like feel if something is off or like a more negative reading on the card. I think it depends on the cards surrounding it. So like say if you pull a star card but then you also pull like a 9 of swords, then you know it's kind of going in generally in a negative direction.
Exactly. And all of these as far as like emotional, love interest, family member usually go in with some kind of intention or focus like about your job or your love life or your family. And I guess that's where it's organizing that information. Like it has to do with what your intention is and the cards surrounding it.
Exactly. And it's also open to interpretation with whoever's reading the cards too.
Cool.
Somebody might interpret it differently.
I love the star card.
Yeah. I love it too because it is such like a middle ground between, you know, that grounding earth energy and that like spiritual one foot in the water energy, kind of like having access to both realms and using both of those realms to be balanced, to have that balance. And we need balance, right? You can't have the light without the dark.
Absolutely. Let's get into the books. We kind of touched on this last time. I didn't realize that there was so much, and I definitely forgot about like the importance of the star in magic lessons. So we're going to go chronologically. There are quite a few in magic lessons, one in rules of magic that didn't have to do with Alice just saying the sky was littered with stars. The stars shone that night. Lots in practical magic and a few in Book of Magic. So let's start with magic lessons. This starts probably when Maria was younger. So as she unwrapped Maria from her blanket, she spied an unusual birthmark in the shape of a star, hidden in the crease of the girl's inner elbow. Right away, she wondered if this was the cause of the child's abandonment, for bloodline witches were said to be marked in such sly concealed places, on the scalp, upon the small of her back, at the breastbone, along the inner arm. It was one thing to learn magic, but quite another to be born with it.
I don't remember that at all.
I didn't either. And you could have been accused of witchcraft for any little birthmark on your body at the time, right?
Yeah. Did you ever see that video where they say that if you have this beauty mark on your wrist, like your inner wrist, that's the mark that you were a witch in a past life? Do you have that beauty mark?
Mine's more like out here.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Apparently anybody with that beauty mark is a witch.
So it's the left arm inside.
I think it could be either arm. I don't know.
Huh.
But yeah, it's got to be on your inner wrist. Weird.
I'm trying to think of any like beauty marks or freckles that I had that would have been like fucking witch. I can't think of any though.
I have I don't think it's a scar. It's just like a lack of pigmentation on my back leg.
Oh, interesting.
It kind of looks like the map of the United States.
Oh.
But I've always had it. I was like, that's weird. There's no color there.
I have a burn mark on my leg that looks like a computer with like a keyboard, like a screen with a keyboard. And then another one that looks like a division sign because Diggity ran into the back of my leg with his mouth open. And so I got like two dots and a line.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Great. So to win the favor of Venus in all matters of love, gather a white garment, a dove, a circle, a star, the seventh day, the seventh month, the 7 stars. And I'm curious to know what constellation specifically has 7 stars that can be seen in the 7th month.
Ursa Major, it says Ursa Major contains 7 stars that form the Big Dipper.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. She was still wearing her undergarments embroidered with blue thread, but they could see enough of her to spy that behind one knee there was a red mark in the shape of a crescent. Maria stepped closer. She herself had the mark of a star on her arm. This is page 114. There was no reason to stay. Maria looked back and saw him at his maps. I think she's talking about Samuel. Perhaps he was too busy to say his goodbyes. He was meant to study the seas and the stars, and there was nothing for him here on land. Page 125. That night, Maria had difficulty sleeping. When at last she fell asleep, she dreamed of a ship at sea. In her dream, she held her grimoire in her hands, open to a page on which a map had been spun out of stars. It was a map she couldn't read, and she was as lost and alone as she had been in the field of snow when Caden found her and sat on the rim of her basket, refusing to leave her. Page 130. The bricks in the front of the house were patterned in diamond shapes, a formation that is said to bring bad luck, but Maria would not think of luck. Still, the mark on her inner arm began to burn as though it were a star that had fallen from heaven to earth. When a witch's mark burns, she had best be aware of the dangers that surround her, for it was a warning that should never be overlooked. Hannah had taught her not to ignore her intuition. 248. She knew the map of the sky and could chart the world north and south. She once knew a man called Goat who could divine the stars and had pointed them out to her. Talking about faith, I'm thinking. And then 306. This is talking about Reverend Samuel Parris and their slave Tituba, who had little choice but to agree when questioned. And the mania spread like a fever to more girls and young women who swore witness against satanic acts they had witnessed: bite marks, bruises, cows whose milk ran red with blood, stars that exploded in the sky, a black horse seen from a window, a mark on a woman's face in the shape of a moon or star or a sickle. All could be counted as proof.
Okay, so lots of the star symbology and magic lessons seems to be tied to the witch's mark.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Interesting.
So Rules of Magic is the aunt's story and Vincent's in the 60s. So on page 37, it says, and this is talking about April. Their cousin was clearly far more sophisticated than they. She was a wild child doing as she pleased, refusing to be constrained by social mores of Beacon Hill. There was a blue star tattoo on her wrist that had caused her to be grounded for several months. She had another on her hip, but that one hadn't yet been detected by her prying, fretful parents. And we talked about this in our tattoos episode also, I think. Yeah.
I wonder what that represented. Did that ever say
It
what?
didn't, but you and I did a little digging and it has some kind of link to LSD, which is interesting
Oh.
because Jet does the LSD in this book.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if Jet ever had a blue star tattoo that they
Oh,
never
that'd be
talked about,
cool. I think
right?
it must have been like on the little pads, little papers, the star,
Yeah.
a blue star would have been printed maybe.
They kind of remind me of those like new little acne patches that those girls
Yeah,
are wearing now,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
Come
can
in
I
all
just
shapes and
say,
colors.
this generation is unhinged
Yeah.
because back in the day, if we ever had acne, we were not calling attention to it
No.
by
I
putting
buy the
a
clear
sticker
one.
on our face.
Yeah, yeah.
Now these girls walk around with like these blue neon pink stars all over. I'm like, oh, they must have acne right now. So.
Work, girl.
All right, so getting into practical magic now. So this says they could climb onto the roof and sit perched on the slate peak, leaning back as far as possible in order to spy the first star. There they would stay on windy March nights or humid August evenings, whispering and arguing over whether it was feasible for even the smallest wish to ever come true. It's funny how in the book they're wishing on the stars in the sky, but in the movie, Sally's wishing on like stars as flowers in the
Yeah.
greenhouse,
Mhm.
right? So the next book mention says, Sally, 397 days older than her sister, was as conscientious as Jillian was idle. She never believed in anything that could not be proven with facts and figures. When Jillian pointed to a shooting star, it was Sally who reminded her that what was falling to Earth was only old rock heated by its descent through the atmosphere. So the next one says, come with us, Jillian said. No, Sally said, impossible. Certain facts of love she knew for certain. Only two people can elope. There were dozens of stones falling on the roof. There were 1,000 stars in the sky. I'll miss you too much, Jillian said. Go on, Sally said. She'd be the last one in the world to hold her sister back. Go now.
Oh, it's her
So
day,
is that
her
when
day to
they
break
were, like-
away.
Yeah, so that in the book they didn't do a blood pact, right?
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
But they had a conversation before Jillian skipped town.
Mhm.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, only two
Right.
people can elope. Get out of here.
Aw. So the next one on this list is certainly she's going to be a much better teenager than she ever was a child. She's half believed this all her life, and now her aunt has read her tarot cards for her, and they predict great good fortune. After the star was the destiny card, and that symbol ensures success in every enterprise. And did this say who they were talking about? Is that Kylie or Antonia?
Yep, it's Kylie when she turns 13. I guess Jillian read her cards and
Okay.
it was the star was her destiny card.
Interesting that Jillian reads tarot cards in the books, but in the film she reads palms.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right? And the next one is, the man in the garden is easier to see on rainy days or late at night when he appears out of thin air like a star you've been staring at but only now see, right in the center of the sky. He doesn't eat or sleep or drink, but that doesn't mean there aren't things he wants. His wanting is so strong, Kylie can feel it, like bands of electricity shaking up the air around. The next one is, she really does feel weak and is relieved to sink into a lawn chair. She leans her head back and is about to close her eyes, but then she notices how many stars are visible tonight. A long time ago, they used to go up on the roof of the aunt's house on summer nights. You could get out through the attic window if you weren't afraid of heights or easily scared by the little brown bats who came to feast on the clouds of mosquitoes drifting through the air. They both always made certain to wish on the first star, always the same wish, which, of course, they could never tell.
Oh, I wonder what the wish was.
The next one says, sometime in the future, when they were both all grown up, they wanted to look up at the stars and not be afraid. This is the night they had wished for. This is that future, right now, and they can stay out as long as they want to. They can remain on the lawn until every star has faded and still be there to watch the perfect blue sky at noon.
That was the wish. Okay. Love that.
Okay, all right. Next, and this is the last one for practical magic. Always keep mint on your windowsill in August to ensure that buzzing flies will stay outside where they belong. Don't think the summer is over, even when the roses droop and turn brown and the stars shift position in the sky. Never presume August is a safe or reliable time of year. That kind of sounds like an end thing that Alice usually does. Was that close to the thing where she's talking about keep rosemary by your garden gate? Is that like at the end of the book, that one?
I'm wondering if, because it has been so long since I've read this book, what you read before about them sinking into the lawn chair is basically the midnight margarita scene, and they're sitting in the lawn looking at the sky, and they must feel like finally content, maybe because Sally chopped down the lilacs and like everything's kind of calmed down, but there must be something else that happens that you can't, and they didn't anticipate. Like, don't assume that just because it's August that like everything's gonna be dreamy and slow and calm, hazy, languid,
Yeah. So then the last book in the series is Book of Magic, and this is on page 8, and this says, Sally felt a kinship with Susanna, and when she found out her great-grandmother's rules jotted down in an old diary, she made use of them. No swimming, no books about magic, no candles, no sitting out on the roof and gazing at stars, no wearing black, no walking in the moonlight. In Sally's opinion, a life without magic was preferable.
I was going to include a little bit more from this, but it was just like itching me the wrong way. I don't know if you've seen the TikToks of the girl satirically playing out the like narcissistic, passive aggressive mom. Sally has a lot of that in her. And I guess like she's like talking to Jillian about, oh, I didn't know you were coming to dinner. And she was like, yeah, I kind of thought you would. And then Sally's like, nobody tells me anything kind of stuff. And I'm like, calm down. Y'all
taking a page right out of Dee's book.
Yeah.
All right. So on page 16, it was the kind of rousing, rowdy song Gary would have liked. Once he moved to Massachusetts, he'd missed the desert where he'd grown up and the untamed country he'd known. He enjoyed standing outside with Sally before they went to bed to gaze at the stars and point out the constellations. Even in the dead of winter, Gary had never believed in curses or bad luck. He'd considered fairy tales to be stories for children. Right? Very practical guy. Even in the film, like, Sally's gotta, like, talk a little magic into him. Like, with the whole, this is your talisman, and it has power when you believe it does.
He's definitely gonna be an Avi, by the end of this next movie. I really hope we see Gary again. But like he's gonna be making his witch sticks and holding his little energy crystals.
Yeah, talk about Imbolc. We were sitting on the couch last weekend. We were at my parents' house, and Avi's like scrolling through he was scrolling through TikTok or whatever, and he came across a video about Imbolc, and he's like, have you heard of this? I was like, yeah, it's Imbolc. I was like, we can also make Bridges crosses. He was like, what? He's like, what are those? What are those? So I showed him Bridges crosses. He was like, yeah, let's make those. Let's make
adorable.
Those.
I'm so happy for him. Adorable.
It's so funny. So page 168. I guess this is talking about Ian, right? Ian. The sleeve of tattoos on his left arm began with the hand of alchemy. Above each finger floated a sun, a star, a key, a crown, and a bell. In the palm of the hand there was a fish. On his torso, a dragon, a magic circle from the Book of Solomon, the triangle of elemental fire, a demon trap with a scorpion in the center, with Hebrew letters surrounding it, skulls and pentacles, intricate images that twisted around each other in a single shade of blue. And yeah, we did talk about tattoo briefly. I don't remember if it was on the tattoo episode or it was a more recent one we were talking about. It's the alchemy tree episode. That's the one. That's where we were talking about this tattoo. I guess we'll touch on it a little bit now, just so you guys know what the fuck we're talking about. So the hand of the philosophers, Ian's tattoo, it should be quite familiar as it is often used in the modern books on alchemy. This was originally an illustration in Isaac Holland's book, Die Hand der Philosophen.
Yeah.
The writings of Holland, who cannot yet be unidentified with a definite historical person, appeared at the end of the 16th century and were revived in the mid-17th century and reprinted a number of times up to the end of the 18th century. The images placed on the hand are evocative, and it is tempting for people to interpret these through their present-day belief systems. However, the author has left us a clear statement of their meaning. This is from the book Die Hand of 1667. The key, the bell, the sun, the star, and is that a crown?
The fish is in the center of the hand.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. What, they were talking about a scorpion and something, right?
What?
Where's scorpion?
Where does
Didn't
it
they talk about a
scorpion?
scorpion? Did I say scorpion before?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it says the triangle of elemental fire, a demon trap with a scorpion in the center.
Oh, cool. I don't see a scorpion.
If you start at the pinky, you see the key, and then the index finger. The next one's the index finger, right?
Ring finger.
Oh, the ring finger. That's the bell. Then the middle finger is the sun. The index/pointer finger is the star. And then the thumb is the crown with like a kind of like a crescent moon above it. The star in this diagram, it kind of looks more like a nautical star, right?
It's a 6-pointed star. Yeah, that we keep coming back to the 6-pointed star with the
Would you say
flower,
that's
with
more
the
nautical?
badge, with the sheriff's badge, and the nautical star. With Samuel.
Yeah. Yeah, so this says the second sign and secret of the philosophers is the star with the 6 points standing above the forefinger next to the thumb. It is compared to Roman vitriol because no work that is to be perfect can be completed without vitriol, for it is the greatest and strongest salt after saltpeter. So all religions started with worship of a star. So this is from Reddit. This is written by Shy Mad.
Shout out, Shy Mad.
Shy Mad, what's up? Shy Mad says, my thesis is that all religions have a central origin and can be traced back to our earliest evidence of civilization. I think it can be demonstrated that all world religions are connected to one foundational belief. Ancient archaeological sites found and believed to have been constructed for the dog star Sirius. The 11,000-year-old site Göbekli Tepe in southern Turkey is the world's oldest temple, which may have been built to worship the dog star Sirius.
Oh.
Built on the southern edge of the excavated city of Metsamor is built a 5,000-year-old observatory. Built between 2,800 to 2,500 BC, is one of the oldest known observations in the world, and the primary star, which matched the coordinates of its endpoint, was the star Sirius, the brightest star in our galaxy. The star can be found all through ancient religions and the leading ones we have now. The dog star is thought to be the central focus of the teachings and symbolism of some secret societies as well. In ancient times, the star was associated with the Egyptian god Osiris, and by other names in other regions. The Egyptians noted that the star appeared prior to the flooding of the Nile River. Egypt wasn't the only culture, though, that the star played a key role in. Sirius has been recognized by all ancient cultures. The Skiddy tribe of Nebraska knew it was a, quote, wolf star, while further north, the Alaskan Inuit of the Bering Strait called it moondog. In ancient Iraq, the star was known as the dog star that leads. In ancient China, the star was identified as a heavenly wolf. And in Syria and Acadia, it was said to be the, quote, dog of the sun. The ancient Romans actually sacrificed a brown dog at the beginning of the dog days to appease the rage of Sirius, believing that the star was the cause of the hot, sultry weather. Sirius didn't fall by the wayside and get forgotten in history. The symbology still exists in our religions today. Christianity has the Star of Bethlehem. In Judaism, the star has played a pinnacle role since the beginning and is referenced in the Talmud as Kima. The Vedas, it is also known as the chieftain star, and other Hindu writings, it is referred to as Sukra. And this author says, it is my belief that the star is the piece of the puzzle that connects all religions and can be traced back to the beginning of human civilization and all the way through modern times. From the remote tribes of Africa to the modern world religions, Sirius was and is the symbolic figure that connects all religions, and is the star that is the origin of all religions. And then they edited it and said, my theory doesn't apply to new age religions that are not grounded in ancient societies.
Interesting.
So I don't know what religions he's referring to there. Maybe more Wicca, because I know Wicca is a newer belief system, right?
Or like Anton LaVey's whole thing.
Yeah.
Curious.
But I mean, Wicca is rooted in paganism, so I'm sure they pull a lot from ancient times. So I don't know what new age religions he might be referring to.
Let us know if you have an idea.
Yeah. So let's talk about the pentagram. And the pentagram is a 5-pointed star, usually drawn by using one continuous line of 5 straight segments. So basically, when you're a kid in like grade school, the star that you draw with the lines going like starting at one point and going up, down. I usually go left to right. How do you draw your star?
I start bottom left and I go up.
Yeah, same.
You do?
Yeah,
Okay.
bottom left, up, down. I go left, right, and then back down.
Yeah. That's the right way to do it.
I know some people do them differently. I don't know, but that's how I do it.
It's the wrong way. However they do it, it's wrong.
So the pentagram, it's been used throughout history as a symbol, often in magic or the occult. Its meaning has varied wildly over time, and it has functioned as a symbol of protection and perfection of the devil and humanity, among others. Mathematically, the segments of the pentagram exhibit the golden ratio, which perhaps makes the figure especially aesthetically pleasing. Is that like the rule of thirds or whatever? Do you know the golden ratio?
Is it like the Fibonacci? Yeah. Is it that?
This says the golden ratio in mathematics. This is
math mumbo.
Yeah, this is math lingo, so I don't even know how to say that. The irrational number, parentheses 1 plus the square root of 5, parentheses, divided by 2.
Oh, not what we thought.
Yeah. Often denoted by the Greek letter, I don't know what that letter is, which is approximately equal to 1.618. It's the ratio of a line segment cut into 2 pieces at different lengths, such that the ratio of the whole segment... Where's Phyllis? I already have all my Phyllis glasses. I already have my Phyllis glasses on. Yeah, what? It is the ratio of a line segment cut into 2 pieces of different lengths, such that the ratio of the whole segment of that of the longer segment is equal to the ratio of the longer segment to the shorter segment.
Oh my god.
Yeah, okay, this is, the math ain't mathing for me, so I'm just gonna X on out of that, and you guys can go look that up, but that's the golden ratio, which perhaps makes the figure especially aesthetically pleasing. Math, bro. I guess, yeah. The pentagram has been used for thousands of years. In ancient times, it was featured in tombs and the seals of Egypt and Mesopotamia and coins of Greece. The pentagram was a symbol of the Greek mathematician and philosopher Pythagoras, if you guys heard of the Pythagorean theorem, right? Oh. And that's as much as math as I know.
Yeah, PEMDAS.
If you just want to like sound smart, just whip out
the Pythagorean
theorem, sure. So Pythagoras and his disciples, probably in part as a way for his followers to recognize each other. Some sources say that Pythagoreans regarded it as a symbol of health and knowledge, and in some depictions the Greek letters for the word health are placed at its points. It may have also been used by the Greeks and others generally as a symbol to ward off evil, and it has been seen in pottery as the ancient kingdom of Judea, maybe as a mark of tax collectors.
Oh.
In the Middle Ages in Europe, pentagrams were used as a symbol of the 5 knightly virtues. In the poem Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, the titular Sir Gawain wears a golden pentagram on both his shawl and his shield as a mark of his virtue, loyalty, and kindness. Pentagrams were also used to defend against witches, evil spirits, and demons.
We appropriated that shit. Fuck you guys. We're taking the pentagram.
Yeah. Okay, I'm looking at this little picture here. So what does it say?
Tetragrammaton pentagram.
Tetragrammaton.
We've talked about that in our other episodes. I think for sure in the alchemy one. The only other place I've heard of a tetragrammaton is in a Christian Bale movie called Equilibrium, and they're kind of like the SS, like as far as like Nazi regime, they're like guards of some kind. In this relation to alchemy, I have no idea what a tetragrammaton are.
Okay, so this image, this star itself, is that called the tetragrammaton?
Yeah, this star has like different alchemic symbols at each point. Probably like some of them look like the Venus symbol with a square in it, and then in the center there's like the Taurus, and then the female symbol connected, and then also the Hippocratic serpents up the staff that you would see in like a medical profession. It's got 2 eyes at the top, and then tetragrammaton is written all the way around, but some of the letters have numbers above them.
Yeah, like te, the T-E, T is 1, 2 is E, and then the tra is T-R-A is 1, 2, 3.
But then
but then the numbers stop, and then on the bottom it's the gram, ma, ton, in between each point of each star, of the star. That is wild.
It looks like, keep reading. It looks like there's more.
Yeah, so I'll explain a little more about this image. So in the 16th century, Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa von Nettesheim published a version of the pentagram that symbolized man as a perfected work of God, with head, hands, and feet representing the 5 points and symbols of the 5 known planets around them. The French occultist Eliphas Levi in the 19th century expanded on this concept with the tetragrammaton pentagram, which includes a variety of symbols, all the ones that we just said to you guys, that represent human existence. In addition to planetary and astrological symbols, this pentagram includes symbols of the 4 elements and Hebrew letters. Yeah, there are some Hebrew letters going horizontally across the star, and then the left and right kind of diagonal lines. The pentagram was also used by the Freemasons, who sometimes placed a G in the center for gnosis, like Gnosis, like prognosis, for gnosis, generation, and the grand architect. A history of the Freemasons from the late 19th century notes the variety of uses as a symbol of man, a demon, protection, magic, and others. So I guess they used it interchangeably depending on what they saw it fit for.
That's
right?
They're witches.
I know. What?
Yeah.
Pentagrams have also been used in a variety of religious contexts. Among Muslims, the pentagram is known as Solomon's seal, and its 5 points are regarded in at least one tradition as representing love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, respectively. It is also the official symbol of the Baha'i faith, though not its most prevalent. For the Baha'i, it is sometimes called the Haykal, Haykal, which means temple or body in Arabic. Among Christians, it has symbolized the 5 wounds of Christ, his hands and feet punctured by the crucifixion, and his side pierced by a soldier's spear, as well as the Star of Bethlehem and Christ himself. In modern times, the pentagram is most often associated with neo-pagan religions, especially Wicca. Isn't that what we said before?
Yeah.
It is often depicted enclosed in a circle, and this is known as the pentacle. So I think some people get pentacles and pentagrams mixed up. So the pentagram is just the star, but when you add the circle around it, then it becomes a pentacle, which is the Wiccan symbol.
Right.
Right?
Or just the inside of the star is the pentagon, like the building.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can't really use pentagram and pentacle interchangeably because they are not the same thing.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. So in these traditions, the 5 points often represent the 5 elements of air, fire, water, earth, and the point at the top is usually the spirit. For Wiccans, the pentagram may also symbolize masculine and feminine, or the triple goddess, which has 3 points, and the horned god, which has 2 points. Many neo-pagans consider the pentagram a symbol of protection and may use it to invoke or banish spirits. The pentacle is the approved symbol of the Wiccan faith to be used on headstones in U.S. government cemeteries. So sometimes the inverted figure of the pentagram with 2 points facing upward and 1 facing down is associated with negative or, quote, black magic and devil worship. Indeed, the inverted pentagram figures in the sigil of Baphomet, one of the main symbols of the Church of Satan, an atheistic organization that evokes in its imagery the devil as viewed in Christianity, but they do not actually worship any god or being or require that its members perform any rituals, magical or otherwise. And what I was saying before, the Church of Satan is literally it's not even like a religious group. It's basically an organization that tries to emphasize the separation of church and state. I don't know if it was a lawsuit. It was like something happened where like Christians and Catholics wanted to like they always try to erect these statues and monuments on government property, right? And the Church of Satan, they put one of their own statues on government property, and then it was a whole argument like if it's separation of church and state,
the hypocrisy, that's what their bag is, calling out
exactly. So it's not even worshiping Satan. They don't worship anybody. That's the whole point. Like they don't worship any deity. It's literally like separation of church and state. That's all it is. So the sigil of Baphomet depicts a goat with its horns and the upturned points of the star. This likely stems from the 19th century European revival of occult studies, during which time it was held that a pentagram with 1 point facing upward symbolized ascendance, God, and supremacy of the spirit, and a pentagram with 1 point facing downward symbolized Satan, infernalism, or everlasting torment, and descent of the spirit. This is perhaps why in Wicca, the pentagram is most often depicted with 1 point facing upward. Because, they don't want to be associated with, I guess, those negative connotations, even though Satanism really doesn't have anything to do with worshiping Satan.
It just takes a little bit of reading. But I
Right.
think growing up, like even just like starting to tip my toe into
The jacuzzi, baby.
The jacuzzi. Like any like the upside down pentagram, like you were just asking for trouble. You know, you're gonna call in the demons. You don't even draw a pentagram anywhere. The one that you're talking about is in Salem, is that correct? Like that's their like headquarters?
That is the temple. That is the Satanic Temple. The wiki page says, the Church of Satan. Well, this says it's a book. This says it's a religious organization dedicated to the religion of Satanism as defined by Anton Szandor LaVey. That was founded in San Francisco.
Okay.
And then the Wikipedia page also says, not to be confused with the Satanic Temple, which that is the non-theistic organization and new religious movement founded in 2013 and headquartered in Salem, Massachusetts. The one that's in Salem.
Okay.
Yeah. So they are different. So the Church of Satan and the Satanic Temple.
So let's talk about the differences in the pentacle and the pentagram. And maybe it's not just the circle. I don't know. We're going to find out. So the term pentacle and pentagram are often used interchangeably, but these terms don't refer to the same symbol. While both pentacle and pentagrams are used in similar contexts, there are some fundamental distinctions between the two same. So let's take a closer look at the similarities and the differences of these two occult symbols. So the pentacle, etymologically, pentacles refer to any symbol that contains 5 points. It comes from the Latin word pentaculum, with the prefix penta, which means 5, and culum, which translate to instrumentally. When represented graphically, the pentacle is drawn as a 5-pointed star within a circle. For ancient pagans, the pentacle represents the harmony of all 5 elements. The 5 points of a star signify the elements, the earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, and these points are joined together by the outer circle, which represents the harmony and balance created when they work in unity. In Christianity, the pentacle is regarded as a positive symbol that keeps evil at bay. I know there's a whole thing about the pentacles you can find on churches, and this is because the 5-pointed star represents Jesus himself. Jesus, with the 5 points representing his 5 crucifixion wounds.
How did the pentacle become associated with evil? So historical records indicate that Eliphas Levi, a renowned French occult author and ceremonial magician, played a key role in popularizing the interpretation of the inverted pentacle as a symbol of dark forces. Levi proposed that an inverted pentagram with 2 points facing upwards alluded to a satanic image. While negative associations with the pentacle predate Levi, his writings significantly spread these views in the Western world. Okay, so this guy's to blame. This guy's to blame.
Frenchman.
Yeah. This interpretation was later integrated into pop culture, with the inverted pentacle often portrayed as an emblem of evil and demonic influences. Further, contributing to this perception was the Church of Satan's choice of symbol, the Sigil of Baphomet. This symbol consists of an inverted pentacle with a goat's head inscribed in it. Contrary to what the name may suggest, the Church of Satan does not literally worship Satan. Instead, Satan is symbolically embraced as an embodiment of individualism, personal freedom, and independence.
So I guess let's talk about the symbolism and meaning of a star. Stars have long held profound meanings tied to navigation, spirituality, religion, hope, art, love, and life. From helping humans chart maps and calendars to inspiring art, spiritual journeys, stars symbolize both guidance and wonder. So Polaris and navigation, girl, I was gonna deep dive on all the nautical shit, and I said, no, pump those brakes. We have enough for this star episode. We'll just add it to the superstitions because there's so much that goes along with nautical bullshit. So Polaris and navigation, or the North Star, has historically been a guiding light for travelers. Once believed to be the brightest star, it provided direction on land and sea, symbolizing hope in the pursuit of dreams. Even today, it metaphorically represents guidance towards one's goals. Humanity and the cosmos. The saying, "we are made of stardust," is more than poetic. It reflects the reality that human bodies share elements with stars like copper and zinc, forged in cosmic explosions.
And I like to believe, because it said the saying that we are made of stardust is more than poetic. I really do believe that, it says that we are, the human bodies, those elements with stars. So in essence, when we pass on to the otherworldly realm at the end of our life, right?
Yeah.
We become that stardust again. We go back out into the collective, and then your you go to your the people who decide who you're going to be in the next life, or the beings,
You're
the ultimate,
regenerated.
yeah, you're recalibrated and then shot back out into the world by the big cosmic cannon, and to figure out who you're going to be in the next life. And I really do believe that, like, we are just one big ball of collective energy, and like, as much as we don't want to believe it, we are all astrally connected.
We're all bouncing into each other and around each other with all these atoms, right?
Did you ever read the book Big Magic by
Yes.
Elizabeth Gilbert? She wrote Eat, Pray, Love. Great book.
Great book.
I'm actually overdue to read that again, but she was talking about, I don't know if she created a term for it, but as creatives, because Big Magic is all about creativity and, where creativity comes from. And like, if somebody has an idea and they don't follow through with that idea, and then somebody else takes that idea, like, she's like, you have to not take that personally, because it's part of the collective knowledge, right? So
out there floating around for somebody to get with their fishing rod.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And like, there's so many ideas out there, and like, not every idea, none of them are original ideas, right?
They're just not going to be the exact same as yours. You might have done something a little bit different.
Yeah, it's all open to interpretation, but all of those ideas are out there in the ether waiting to be snatched up by somebody, because the muses, right? The muses, that's where we get our ideas from. If they're feeding you something and you decide to pass on it, they're going to feed it to somebody else, and then somebody else might take that and make it, alchemize that into reality,
that is exactly what happened with our podcast. I was like, waiting, somebody please pick this up, somebody please do this, and Justina, with her patience, was like, no, we're doing it, we're gonna make this podcast our own.
Yeah, because thinking back to Elizabeth Gilbert's whole concept of like, if we don't snatch this up, somebody else is going to,
and they might fuck it up.
Exactly. So if you want something right, you gotta snatch it from the muses and take it and claim it. Exactly. Claim it.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I really like that book when you need a kick in the pants creatively. If you feel like you're in a slump, that one, and Women Who Run with Wolves, they're both really great to like get you going. But Liz Gilbert's book, I'm not a huge fan of her like Eat, Pray, Love. And there was another book, like The Last Woodsman or something like that. She writes like she speaks. Big Magic though, it's really good. Highly recommended.
Big Magic is great.
Yeah. So stars also play a crucial role in creating the first lunar calendars. Artifacts like the Nebra sky disk and ancient carvings in Turkey highlight how cultures across the world relied on celestial patterns to track time. The Mayan and Egyptian civilizations also built calendars based on stars, and stars have long been seen as spiritual guides. Native American tribes looked to the stars for meanings, while ancient civilizations worshipped stars as deities. Today, astrology ties constellations to human characteristics, offering spiritual insight and connection. We did not even touch on zodiac. Right? We didn't even, it's too much because we're going to have a whole zodiac episode, right?
Oh yeah.
Stars are central to many religions, and in Christianity, the 5 points of a star symbolize Christ's wounds, knightly virtues. In Islam, they represent the 5 pillars of faith. The Star of David, prominent in Judaism, signifies divine protection. Even early pagan beliefs saw stars as celestial messengers. The starry sky has always represented hope. Falling stars in particular have been seen as symbols of fortune, inspiring countless traditions of wishing upon a star. In practice, rooted in belief that the universe hears our dreams. Artists and poets have drawn endless inspiration from stars. Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night portrays the chaotic beauty, while Georgia O'Keeffe's Starlight Night reflects humanity's desire for order. Stars are also celebrated in poetry, with works like Rainer Maria Rilke's Falling Stars and James Joyce When the Shy Star Goes Forth in Heaven. We're going to talk about stars in pop culture later also. So stars symbolize both destined and doomed love. Shakespeare's term star-crossed lovers reflects love hindered by fate, while Written in the Stars suggests soulmates brought together by the universe. Stars remain a symbol of deep and transcendent love. The sun, our closest star, is essential to life, providing light, warmth, and vitamin D necessary for health. And without stars, the universe would be cold, lifeless, void, underscoring their role as givers of life.
Yes, let's talk about shooting stars. So, have you ever seen a shooting star?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you? I've seen a couple. Yeah.
They were a lot more prominent in California, where everything's like wide open.
That makes sense. Yeah. I do remember like the craziest sky that I ever saw with my own two eyes was when we were driving, me and my friend Kristen were driving from Seattle to LA, and we were crossing over into the tippy tip top of Northern California from Oregon. And I just remember looking at the sky and be like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Coming from New Jersey, where like it's all refineries and like, you know,
light pollution.
Yeah, we just like have so much pollution that like we have stars here. Like I've seen stars here, but like it was so crystal clear. And
That's
like
awesome.
that's like the one of the main memories I have about that road trip was just like the stars.
Yeah, awesome. I
And
love that.
I think I texted my mom or Avi and I was like, "Oh my God, the star
Makes you
like
feel small, huh?
you wouldn't believe the way the stars look out here.
Mm.
Insane." Yeah.
And it sucks because you can only enjoy it with your eyeballs. There's no taking a picture of it unless you have like a high, expensive camera.
But that image is ingrained in my brain, and it was just so cool. Yeah, never experienced anything like that. So a shooting star, with its fleeting streak of light across the night sky, has captivated humanity for centuries. This celestial phenomenon symbolizes hope, transformation, and the magic of fleeting beauty. Cultures worldwide have imbued shooting stars with rich meanings, reflecting their significance in life, spirituality, and the universe. So what are shooting stars exactly? So shooting stars also are called meteors, and they are fragments of space debris that burn up upon entering Earth's atmosphere, creating a brilliant flash of light. Though most meteors are as small as grains of sand, they are visible from miles away and remain awe-inspiring sights.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were that small.
Neither did I. Yeah. So some of the symbolism of shooting stars. They symbolize good luck and fortune. Throughout history, shooting stars have been seen as omens of good luck and prosperity. Ancient cultures believed these celestial events were signs from the gods, bringing blessings or heralding significant change. They also symbolize love and romance. Shooting stars they symbolize love and destiny. They are seen as harbingers of true love or good fortune for couples, with phrases like, quote, written in the stars, reflecting fateful connections. They represent change and impermanence. The fleeting nature of shooting stars remind us of life's transience and the inevitability of change. They encourage us to embrace new beginnings and let go of what no longer serves us. They also symbolize wishes and dreams. A long-standing tradition involves making wishes upon a shooting star. We all know that Disney song, When You Wish Upon a Star, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That song still like brings a tear to my eye.
Mhm.
Like if you've ever gone to Disney World and you've experienced like all like the magic and the childlike wonder, and then you come home to reality, it's the most fucking depressing
Everything's
feeling
gray,
ever.
drab, and sad and depressing.
Yeah, and like that song, just forget it. It's just
Aw.
fucking tears. The practice symbolizes faith in the universe's ability to help manifest our dreams, connecting us with something greater than ourselves. Witnessing a shooting star can inspire profound spiritual growth. It's seen as a reminder of beauty and potential for magic in our lives, encouraging us to pursue our dreams and seek our inner transformation. Shooting stars are thought to signify miracles and the possibility of shaping one's destiny. They remind us of life's wonder and our connection to the cosmos. In some cultures, shooting stars are believed to cleanse negative energy and offer physical and emotional healing. Their light is seen as a source of renewal and positive change. Many traditions associate shooting stars with fertility and the start of new journeys. They symbolize renewal and the courage to embrace fresh opportunities. And lastly, shooting stars transcend cultural and linguistic boundaries, reminding us of our shared humanity. They encourage appreciation for life's simple pleasures and the connections that bring joy and peace. In astrology, they're often associated with change in fate or fortune. And then lastly, religious interpretations. Some believe they mark the release of souls from purgatory or divine intervention in earthly affairs.
I love that.
Yeah. I strongly believe like when you die, your stardust goes back to the ether and goes back to the collective. I think
You're back in the pot, getting stirred around, get
exactly
scooped back out.
Yeah. What were you gonna say before? You just said, do you think?
As a little Catholic girl, did purgatory scare the shit out of you? It scared me. I was like, I don't want to get stuck there. But I was praying real hard back then.
No, nothing scared me. I was fearless at 13 years old. I was like, fuck this shit. I can't do my talent show practice. I don't believe in any of this.
I wish I knew you then.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like I never had that fear and I still don't have that fear. No one can guilt me into believing their stupid ass shit. So
Yeah.
anyway.
The first one we wanted, well, actually, do we want to take a break?
All right, yeah. So sit right there. We'll be right back. Hey, little witches, Justina here, calling all practical magic fans and music lovers. This fall, get ready for something truly spellbinding from the Stinas. Kristina and I started Magnolia Street Podcast as a way to share our original music inspired by our favorite movie, Practical Magic. We've been hard at work in the recording studio since September, brewing up our 5-song debut EP, Magnolia Street Volume 1.
At the house on Magnolia Street, would you go down to Magnolia Street where the wisteria grow wild? At the house of magic and mystery, so would you go down to Magnolia Street?
You want the inside scoop on our music and the stories behind each song? Join our Rose tier on Patreon for just $8 a month and dive into exclusive content from our songisodes. Plus, bonus content from our highly anticipated upcoming EP. On there, you'll find lyric sheets, original demos, behind-the-scenes videos from the studio, blog posts, production notes, and more. Don't miss out on the magic. Keep up to date with us on our Instagram at Magnolia Street Podcast for all of our music news and be a part of our musical journey. The Stinas are bringing practical magic to life, one song at a time, right here on Magnolia Street.
You didn't go down to Magnolia Street. Magnolia Street.
Hey, little witches! The Stinas here. If you've been listening to our podcast for a while, you would know how much we love using the Practical Magic Inner Witch Oracle deck by Grounded by the Moon.
And now we want to share the magic of Grounded by the Moon with you, our listeners. Joseph Benitez Egerton, the creator behind Grounded by the Moon, would like to offer this very special 10% off discount to all who wish to experience the magic of his Practical Magic themed tarot and oracle decks.
But that's not all. He also creates other divination tools like tarot workbooks, deck bags and altar cloths, pendulum kits, oil blends, cleansing sprays, smoke wands, teas, and ritual kits.
And let's not forget about his custom handcrafted all-natural soy candles, where every candle is hand-poured and personally infused and charged under the light of the moon. They even come with a crystal.
And did we mention all of the ingredients in the candles are ethically sourced?
All of Joseph's offerings are just so magical. So go visit groundedbythemoon.com and use the coupon code Magnolia Magic for 10% off your entire order at checkout.
That's MAGNOLIA MAGIC. So get your discount today. You're listening to Magnolia Street Podcast.
All right, welcome back. So we're going to go through now the different stars with the different amount of points on them, ranging between 3-pointed stars and I think 12, 13-pointed stars. So buckle up.
Wow.
Here we go.
Okay.
Let's start by talking about the 3-pointed star. And some of you might know this as the triquetra. And think of the symbol on the front of the Charmed spell book. That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
So, yeah, this 3-pointed star derived from the triquetra is an ancient symbol with a presence in various cultures and religions. The triquetra is constructed by overlapping 3 circles in a way that each circle circumference passes through the center of the others. This is the way I used to draw like a lion's face. I don't know if you did it this way in grade school. Yeah, you can make a little lion out of the 3 circles interlocking.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. Consequently, the star embodies the essence of the triquetra in symbolizing interconnectedness, the eternal cycle of life, balance, harmony, source energy, creation, light, time, and enlightenment. It also represents the various triplicities of existence as an all-important phenomenon in this universe that happen to be set in 3s. So some examples are the Holy Trinity, a Father, Son, Holy Spirit in Christianity, mind, body, and spirit, past, present, and future, birth, life, death, creation, preservation, destruction, land, sea, and sky, beginning, middle, and end, youth, middle age, old age, maiden, mother, crone. Hence, the three-pointed star stands as a potent symbol that contains the fundamental workings of the universe at its core.
I'm adding a picture right now because this reminds me of the Sicilian Trinacria. It's like a face in the middle with the 3 legs around it.
Yeah, yep, I know
You seen that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my parents have one hanging up in their
What does it represent?
This says that the 3-legged symbol of Sicily represents the island's 3 capes. Its fertility and its role as granary? I don't know what that means. It says that the symbol is also known as the triskelion. So the legs represent the 3 capes of Sicily. So Capo Peloro, Capo Passero, and Capo Libeo? I don't know. I've never heard of those. It signifies balance, motion, and interconnectedness of the island's regions, and the arrangement of the 3 legs suggests a rotation, which some scholars have linked to time and cycle of nature. Mm-hmm. And then in the center, it's the Medusa head, which is
cool.
Yeah, it's a protective symbol that represents wisdom, protection, and freedom. And then there's the wheat stalks, which represents Sicily's fertility, agricultural wealth, and historical significance in feeding the Mediterranean. And then it's got 2 little wings right next to the head, which signifies freedom. And so this is a popular lucky charm and a source of inspiration for Sicilian artisans. And they're all over Sicily, like when you go there. My parents, yeah, we got one when we went in the 90s, and it's been hanging up in our house in my childhood home ever since.
That looks pagan as hell.
Right?
It looks so cool. That's so really neat.
Crazy that like Sicilians, Italians, like they're so rooted in Catholicism and Christianity, but like all of their symbolism is super witchy as fuck. Right? Yeah.
And if we're going in this like triad triple thing, our design for the triple hare, the triple rabbit, go to our rabbits episode, but you can get a cool Lost Souls club because the rabbit is a kind of not pompadour. What's it called?
Psychopomp.
Psychopomp. Thank you.
Yeah.
Or helping guide those lost souls from one plane to the next.
Yeah. That's a badass design that you did with those rabbits.
Thank you. Join the Lost Souls Club over on our Teespring. Get the link in our Instagram.
That's like one of Avi's favorite sweatshirts. He wears it.
Oh, that's nice.
All the time.
Me too. I love it. Is this still 3-pointed? However, the 3-pointed star is rather seldom very often used, although very prominent in one of the versions of the International Brigade flag during the Spanish Civil War in the years 1936 to 39. There, it is also seen in the sign of the car manufactured by Mercedes-Benz. Yeah, Mercedes-Benz symbol.
All right, so we're going to talk about the 4-pointed star. The seal of United States Civil Service Commission. It says various species of 4-pointed stars existed in many cultures as follows. The 4-point star, which served as the inspiration for the British Army's 1914 to 1915 Star Campaign, medal. The NATO flag bears a compass rose, of which this 4-pointed star forms part, as does the flag of the country Aruba. The seal of the United States Civil Service Commission, now defunct, used to include a 4-pointed star from 1963 to 1979. 4-pointed stars have also become the symbol of the Subaru car company and the Philips Corporation. The 4-pointed star is a powerful symbol that is related to the Celtic fivefold symbol and the witch's knot, both of which are ancient symbols found across various cultures and religions. The following image illustrates the 4-pointed star present within the witch's knot symbol. It's like a 4-point star, like a compass, kind of like north, south, east, west, and like inside every point, it's like a little loop, and then it's kind of surrounded by a circle like that of a compass or like a pentacle, like on the outside.
Like a quad infinity symbol.
Yeah,
like bunch of infinity symbols connected.
Yeah. Interesting. So much like the fivefold symbol and the witch's knot, the 4-pointed star represents all important phenomena that happens in sets of 4, called quadruplicities, and the interconnection that exists between them. So some examples include the 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, also fall, and winter. Also, it can represent the 4 cardinal directions, north, south, east, west, like that of a compass, and the 4 elements, earth, water, air, fire. 4 phases of the moon, the new moon, first quarter, full moon, and last quarter, the 4 major solar events in a year, the 2 equinoxes, and the 2 solstices. And lastly, the 4 phases in a day: morning, afternoon, evening, and night. So the star also embodies the concept of creation, as it contains a cross within. It looks like one of those, like, you know, those Chinese stars, or like that you used to make
ninja
like
star.
paper.
Yeah.
It looks like that. The vertical arm of the cross symbolizes masculine energy, while the horizontal arm represents feminine energy. Their point of intersection, which is at the center of the star, symbolizes the source of all creation. Overall, the 4-pointed star represents interconnection, creation, balance, harmony, and the dual nature of the universe and the eternal cycle of life.
Yeah. And I wanted to add a whole section here on the Southern Cross constellation. And it's important in, nautical travel. And then I thought, like, we can just there's so many factors about charting the stars that leads to how, like, a sextant works, and math and geography, etc. So we're not doing that. It might have a little cameo in our nautical folklore and superstitions episode, but because the stars were everything to ancient travelers all the way up to now. But in brief, there's a constellation called the Southern Cross that consists of 4 stars that intersect in the southern hemisphere that became very important to naval expeditions in the late 15th and 16th centuries.
Cool.
So check that out. And next we go back to the pentagram, pentacle, the 5-pointed star. Pentagram primarily represents the 5 elements and the interconnectedness that exists between them. These elements are fire, air, water, earth, and the 5th element, ether, or spiritual energy, which is present within all other elements. The ether element is represented by the topmost vertex.
Are they saying that spiritual energy is the ether element? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Right. And in this little diagram, in a regular facing upward star, this indicates spirit over matter. And then, that reversal, the one we kind of associate with like Baphomet and Satanism, this is matter over spirit. So I guess the things that are physical and you can touch, things here on earth that, that you possess or that you want to possess. I know that, like, in Satanism, that it's like how you can better your life and that things that you can gain throughout your existence here now. Interestingly, you can draw pentagrams within an existing pentagram infinitely. Also, each inner pentagram reverses its orientation compared to the outer one in which it is drawn. So you get a series of upward and downward facing pentagrams that go on endlessly. And this signifies the intricate balance that exists between opposing polarities that is the basis of all creation. It also signifies infinity and the eternal nature of life. Additionally, the pentagram also represents feminine energy as it is related to the planet Venus. The path followed by Venus as it travels around the sun is similar to that of the 5-pointed star. Also, didn't include this, but we talked about it, I think, in our maybe Gustav Doré episode about Venus, also called the morning star, aka Lucifer.
Yeah.
I love that. Sometimes called the golden 5-pointed star, it forms a 5-ended star when drawn with equal length points and angles of 36 degrees at each point. When combined with the joining of
Coleoptera
collinear edges, a pentagram is generated, which is the most fundamental of the unicursal star polygons and is known for its mystical and magical significance. The golden 5-pointed star is a common use in ideogram in the Western world, but more strongly associated with military power and war. 5-pointed stars also appear in flags of many communist countries, including China and Vietnam, and symbols like the hammer and sickle. The 5-pointed star appears on flags of 35 nations around the world, as well as the heraldic arms of the United States, and more commonly contrasts with the barely vexillological 7-pointed star. The 5-pointed star can be found with a crescent in the flags of several countries to symbolize Islam. For example, in the case of the Ottoman Empire, the South Carolina flag has a moon and star on it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. In philantry, the 5-pointed star refers to non-postmark stamps. The 5-pointed star also serves as a symbol for the People's Nation Agreement of Gangs of Chicago. The symbol is also used by blood gangs originating in New York, which are called the United Blood Nation, them also having adopted the People's Nation Agreement. Gangs!
So I want to go back to what you said before about the reversed star representing matter over, what did you say? Matter over spirit?
Yeah.
So that made me think of, like, you said physical, of the physical world, like possessions and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
It made me think of like Capricorn energy.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, oh, let me go back to the tarot and pull, because the devil card popped out in my head right away, because you associate the devil with that Capricorn energy.
And there's
And
a pentagram on this.
but
Yes,
it's upside down.
How about that? Yep.
Look at that. Yeah. Look at the if this were upright, the top point that represents spirit, it's touching the devil's third eye.
Interesting.
So the gateway to the spiritual realm, perhaps.
Mm.
Yeah. I just like love tarot symbology.
Yes.
And going back to like thinking of like those attachments to possessions and materialistic things. The devil also denotes those vices, those ties to the physical realm, those addictions or
The imbalance of
unhealthy ties to, material possessions maybe. All right, we're moving on to the six-pointed stars now, right? So this is called a hexagram. So the six-pointed star, also known as the hexagram, is an ancient symbol found in various cultures and religions. In Hinduism, it is referred to as the Shatkona, or the Shiv Shakti star. In Judaism, it's referred to as the Star of David, and in Islam, it's the Seal of Solomon. How is a hexagram constructed? So this star is created by two overlapping triangles, one facing upwards and the other downwards, sharing the same center. The upward triangle represents the divine masculine, and the downward represents the divine feminine. The center of the star, shared by both triangles, signifies the source of all creation. Consequently, the hexagram embodies essential concepts like balance, harmony, interdependence, duality, oneness, and the act of creation. The unicursal hexagram, unlike the regular hexagram formed by separate triangles, this can be drawn in a single, unbroken stroke without lifting a hand. This underscores the idea of interconnectedness between the divine masculine and feminine and represents the eternal, cyclical nature of life that continues without end.
Cool. It definitely looks much different than what I associate as the Star of David kind of layout.
Yeah. This one looks pretty cool. So there are several varieties of six-pointed stars which are used in cultures around the world. If the collinear edges of a regular six-pointed star are connected so that two interlaced triangles are formed, a symbol results that is variously known as the hexagram, Star of David, or Shield of David. This symbol is most commonly associated with Judaism. It is also used in Christianity, Islam, and Hinduism, but less frequently. Then there is the Ahmadiyya flag. The Lawa-e-Ahmadiyyat contains a six-pointed star adjacent to a crescent. Then there is the Star of Life, which is basically a six-armed cross. The municipal flag of Chicago has four-pointed stars. The German and German-American hex signs and barn stars often incorporate both five- and six-pointed stars as central themes. The six-pointed star is used as the symbol for the Folk Nation Alliance of Gangs from Chicago. Yeah, we talked about this already. Crip gang
they
members
must use 5 and 6-pointed stars.
Yeah, I guess they're interchangeable. Crip gang members tend to use the symbol also. Apart
The
from
Crips instead of the Bloods, though.
yeah, before it said the Bloods, right?
Well, this is 6-pointed. The other one's 5-pointed.
Okay, so
maybe
yeah,
they're like dual in that way too.
Got it. Yeah. Apart from these, six-pointed star formations are rare as an ideograph in Western cultures, except in the case of law enforcement badges. In astrology, some formations of a six-pointed star can signify fixed stars. In some rare instances, it can signify the date of birth on a gravestone, synonymous with the 5-point star.
Oh, didn't know that. Cool. Next is the 7-pointed star, a hepagram. A hepagram or septagram is a 7-pointed star drawn with 7 straight strokes. There are 2 kinds of hepagrams, an obtuse hepagram and an obtuse hepagram. So the 7-pointed star, known as a hepagram, is a symbol rich in diverse meanings across cultures and beliefs. In ancient Babylon, for instance, it represented the 7 planets known at the time, including the Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn. These celestial bodies were considered sacred by the Babylonians. They dedicated a day of worship for each of these planets, leading to the creation of a 7-day week. Great.
Nice.
So the sun is Sunday. Let me go in order. The sun is Sunday. The moon is Monday. Mars is Tuesday. Mercury is Wednesday. Jupiter is Thursday. Venus is Friday. and Saturday is Saturn. There we go. Thus, the hepagram symbolizes both the 7 days of the week and the 7 planets. In addition, it is also used to symbolize the 7 sacred metals tied to these planets, which are as follows. Gold is associated with sun, silver with the moon, iron with Mars, Mercury with Mercury, tin with Jupiter, copper with Venus, and lead with Saturn. In many ancient cultures, the 7-pointed star was used as a protective symbol to ward off evil forces. In Hinduism, the star represents solar energy, symbolizing the 7 horses that draw the chariot of the sun god, Surya. According to the book of Genesis, God created the world in 6 days and rested on the 7th. This concept of a 7-day creation is also represented by the 7-pointed star. Given that the universe was completed in 7 days, the 7-pointed star is often seen as a symbol of completeness and perfection. So politically, a 7-pointed star appears in the flag and the heraldic symbol of Australia. In the Australian context, the 7 points, also known as the Commonwealth Star, the Federation Star, the 7-pointed star, or the Star of Federation, is a 7-pointed star symbolizing the Federation of Australia, which also came into force on the 1st of January 1901. 6 points of the star represents the 6 original states of the Commonwealth of Australia, while the 7th point represents the territories. The 7-pointed star stands in contrast to the vexillologically more conventional 5-pointed stars. It's probably not how you say that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
Vexillologically.
The seal of the Cherokee Nation has an acute gold 7-pointed star on its seal, and the 7-pointed star is also used as a symbol of the Trinitarios gang in New York City.
Wow, lots of gangs use stars, I guess. All right, let's talk about the 8-pointed star. This one's kind of wild. This is like a square with another square running through the corners of the other square. Yeah. So the 8-pointed star is one of the most famous stars on this list, along with the 6-pointed star. It has many ancient references and symbolisms, just like the 6-pointed star. And this can be drawn in 2 different ways as follows. So this star consists of 2 overlapping squares of equal area having a common center. Such a star can be drawn by connecting every second vertex in an octagon or a 9-sided polygon. This star is also formed when every third vertex in an octagon is joined up. This can be drawn in one stroke and is also called the unicursal 8-pointed star. Among these, the 8/2 star, made up of 2 overlapping squares, is significant symbolically as it depicts the interrelationship between the divine masculine and divine. Phyllis just wants to play. And divine feminine, and hence is a powerful creation, symbolistic as a 6-pointed star.
Draw a square, then draw another square and tip it 45 degrees and lay them on top of each other.
Yeah. So this is also known as the Star of Lakshmi symbol. Each point of this star symbolizes something else. So in Hinduism, the 8/2 star is known as the Lakshmi star and represents the 8 different powers. Okay, so they're the 8 different powers of goddess Lakshmi, who is the goddess of wealth, prosperity, and abundance. And these 8 forms are as follows. So at the tippy top of the star, we have Darya Lakshmi, which represents courage. Then we move down, or to the right, this is Dhanya Lakshmi, which is nourishment. Then we move down one. This is Gaja Lakshmi, which is influence. And then we're moving clockwise now. This is Santana Lakshmi, which is fertility. Then at the bottom point of the star, we have Vijaya Lakshmi, which means victory. And then to the left of that, we have Vidya Lakshmi, which is knowledge. And then moving up, we have Dana Lakshmi, which is wealth. And then we end the star with Adi Lakshmi, which means new beginnings. And then back up to the point, which means courage. Those are all of the points of the star and what each of those points represent. The Rub el-Hizib, which is an ancient Arabic symbol, also has the same design consisting of 2 overlapping squares. The symbol is known as Katim or Katim Sulyaman, which means seal of Prophet Solomon, and is said to have magical powers. In Estonia, the 8/3 8-pointed star is considered sacred, called the Kahexakand. Kahexa meaning 8 and Kand meaning star. This star is often used as a protective talisman for protection against the evil eye and negative energies. So
I've seen this one a lot on quilts and like Pennsylvania Dutch barn hexes, hex symbols.
Interesting. Okay. Dating back to 2000 BC, the eight-pointed star is also the symbol of Mesopotamian goddess Ishtar, who was the goddess of love and war. Would that be Athena of the Greek perspective?
Yeah.
So the star was associated with planet Venus, which the Mesopotamians considered sacred as the first light to be seen at dawn and the last light at dusk. Hence, to the Mesopotamians, the eight-pointed star represented illumination, hope, wisdom, and magic. So the Star of Ishtar. Some traditions also associated with eight-pointed star with the morning star or the North Star. In the Wiccan, the North Star as in Catholicism, like in the Bible?
The North Star, like I guess like their guidance, they associated the North Star as being an eight-pointed star because it represents illumination, hope, magic.
Yeah, wasn't the North Star in the Bible what the wise men followed to baby Jesus?
Baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus.
Was it the North Star?
Yeah, they followed the North Star to Jesus.
Oh, maybe.
They had to bring him his gifts. They had to Uber Eats him.
See the meme? It was like, what if the birth of Jesus was kind of like a Mamma Mia situation and the three wise men were actually the three dads like showing up to figure out if it was their kid?
Dude, do you remember that show in the 90s called My Two Dads?
It was a show?
Yeah.
I thought it was, okay, no, I don't remember watching it.
Yeah, it was a show called My Two Dads. It was like the cutest show ever.
Jesus had two dads and he turned out.
All right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so in the Wiccan and many pagan traditions, the eight-pointed star represents the 8 major solar and seasonal events that occur through the course of a year. This includes the 2 equinoxes, spring and autumn, and the 2 solstices, summer and winter, and the 4 seasons, spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And I love those like diagrams or those like wooden plaques that are carved with all of those sabbats on them.
I turn mine. It doesn't hang on the wall. I just have it set up on our liquor cabinet and just turn it around.
Oh,
I have
nice.
not done that.
Yeah, I got the one in Salem.
Yeah, it was a table, right? It had leg attachments.
It's in the corner here as my quote altar. Ask me if I ever friggin' use it. I think I want to like revamp the space and like take everything, all the bullshit. I have like crystals and flowers and everything on it. I kind of want to hang it up because it came with a bracket on the back too.
Hang it up.
So I kind of want to like see it because it's got all this shit on it. But like,
it would look really good on the wall, like your open on air symbol, like back there, like right above your shoulder.
I don't think I'm gonna put it in here. I think I'm gonna put it in my dining room. Next to that corner hutch.
Okay.
And then maybe put some like dried flowers around it or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so going back to the Sabbats. So yeah, all of these events are celebrated by Wiccans. The names of the festivals associated with these are as follows. So Yule is the winter solstice, and that's celebrated between December 20th and 23rd. And I guess I'm a solstice baby. I'm on the 20th.
Special. And these are all northern hemisphere. If it's southern, flip it and reverse all this.
Flip it and reverse it. Yeah. So next we have Imbolc, which is the beginning of spring, and that's on February 1st. We have Ostara, which is the spring equinox, and that's between March 19th and 22nd. Beltane, which is the beginning of summer, and that's May 1st. And then we have Litha, which is the summer solstice between June 19th and 23rd. Then we have Lunasa, which is the beginning of autumn, and this is also known as first harvest, and this is August 1st. Then we have second harvest, which is Mabon, also known as the autumn equinox, between September 21st and 24th. Then we have Samhain, which is that's the final harvest, the last harvest, the beginning of winter, and this is on November 1st, also known as Halloween. In Buddhism, the 8-pointed star is also known as the Dharma chakra and represents Buddha's teachings and the Noble Eightfold Path to enlightenment. Respectively, these are the right livelihood, the right action, the right effort, the right intention, the right concentration, the right mindfulness, and the right speech, and lastly, the right view. In Christianity, the 8-pointed star is known as the Star of Bethlehem and is associated with the birth of Jesus Christ. The 3 wise men are said to have followed the star to find Jesus Christ.
Oh, so here it is.
Yeah, I was right. See, I paid attention.
Yeah, you did.
A little bit. It's like the only thing I know. So as a result, the star symbolizes hope, divinity, miracles, direction, and guidance. In Chinese philosophy, the 8-pointed star is used to represent the Bagua symbols that consists of 8 trigram. The 8 trigrams are formed by different combinations of yin and yang and represent the 8 important natural phenomena or elements on Earth. These are as follows. So these are the elements that it represents in Chinese philosophy. So first we have the heaven, Qian, which represents the element of metal. Then we have the lake, Dui, representing the element of marsh or swamp. Fire, which is Li, representing the element of fire. Thunder, Zhen, representing the element of wood. Wind, Jun, representing the element of wood or tree. Water, Kan, representing the element of water. Mountain, Gen, representing the element of earth. And earth, Kun, representing the element of earth. So I guess 2 of them represent earth, the mountain and earth. So understanding the 8 trigrams of Bagua is believed to give an individual the capacity to grasp the past, the present, and the future.
Next is our 9-pointed star. I said nonagram when I was like writing this down. I was like, oh, nona, like that's dope. Like a nonagram. Huh. Also called an enneagram, which we have not done in a long time. But we have talked about enneagrams here on the show. So has been used from various ancient times and is supposed to have a great number of different meanings. One can draw the star in 2 different ways as follows. So this lists 9/2, 9-pointed star. This star is a unicursal star in that it can be drawn in one stroke without lifting a pen. For the formation of the star, connect every second vertex in a nonagram of 9 sides. And then there's a 9/3 9-pointed star. This star is formed of 3 equilateral triangles overlapping each other. It is drawn by connecting every third vertex in a nonagram, 9-sided polygon. Along all the stars stated above, the 9/3 star is most important because it is used to represent the 3 crucial triplicities present in nature, which make existence possible. Okay, so the first triangle represents the primal forces of creation, preservation, and destruction, also recreation. The second triangle represents mind, body, spirit, which is the basis of life on Earth. The third triangle represents past, present, and future, or all time. The combination of these triplicities is the basis of all existence. Thus, the 9/3 9-pointed star is a powerful symbol of life and creation. It also represents the eternal nature of the universe. In many spiritual traditions, the 9-pointed star is also associated with completeness, perfection, and enlightenment. This is because the 9 is the highest single-digit number and hence represents the completion of a cycle. In Hinduism, the 9-pointed star holds a special significance as it represents the 9 celestial bodies known as the Navagradas in Hindu astrology. These celestial bodies include the Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu. Additionally, the star symbolizes the Navaratnas, which are the 9 sacred gemstones associated with these celestial bodies. And these gemstones are ruby, associated with the sun, diamond, associated with Venus, pearl with the moon, coral with Mars, hessonite with Rahu, and blue sapphire with Saturn, cat's eye with Ketu, yellow sapphire with Jupiter, and emerald with Mercury. Interesting because Gemini here. Mercury, Gemini, emerald is my birthstone. So that's cool. Like it's like the month May birthstone.
That is interesting.
Furthermore, the star is a representation of the 9 forms of the goddess Durga, which each form representing a specific aspect of the divine feminine energy.
We're going to talk about the 10-pointed star, and this goes all the way up to 12, I believe, right? So we have just a few more of these for you. So, so the 10-pointed star is a powerful ancient symbol known as the decagram and is closely associated with the pentagram, the 5-pointed star. So this star can be drawn in 3 different ways as follows. So we have the 10/2, the 10-pointed star, and this can be drawn by connecting every second vertex in a decagon, or a 10-sided polygon, and the 10/2 star consists of 2 overlapping pentagons. Then we have the 10/3 10-pointed star, and this star is a unicursal star that is drawn by connecting every third vertex in a decagon. This star can be drawn in a single stroke without lifting your pen. Then we have the 10/4 10-pointed star, and this is drawn by connecting every fourth vertex in a decagon. It consists of 2 overlapping pentagrams having the same center. And out of these, the 10/4 star is of special significance as it consists of 2 overlapping pentagons, one facing upward and the other facing downward. As we already saw, since ancient times, the pentagram has been used to represent the 5 elements. Also, the meaning of the pentagram changes based on its orientation. The top corner of the vertex of the pentagram signifies spirit or spirit energy. So when the pentagram faces upward, it represents the concept of spirit or the spiritual world over matter, the material world. When it faces downward, the pentagram represents the concept of matter over spirit, which is what we talked about before. So thus, the 10/4 star represents the perfect balance and harmony that exists between the spirit and material realms. This delicate balance is fundamental for the sustenance of the universe, and hence the 10-pointed star can also be seen as a powerful symbol of creation, just like the 6-pointed star. And now I'm curious, like, I don't remember how many points did we talk about how many points the star and the star card actually had?
No. I wonder if each star card is different too, depending on the artist, maybe?
Yeah, I'm talking about like the traditional like Rider Waite.
Okay. No, I don't think we touched on that.
All right, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So on the Rider Waite, these are 8-pointed stars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So next is the 11-pointed star, and this can be seen on the Federation of Malaya flag. And Malaya was superseded by Malaysia when it was united with Singapore. Or it used the 11-pointed star from 1950 to 1963, with the star representing the 11 members of state of the Federation. In various spiritual traditions, the 11-pointed star is seen as a gateway or portal to higher levels of consciousness and spiritual realms. This is because in numerology, 11 is considered a master number. How many times have you seen like 111 or 1111 and you're like, my angels are watching out for me? Yeah. It is associated with spiritual insight, intuition, and enlightenment. The star also represents the concept of duality, as the number 11 consists of 2 ones. This duality represents the balance between opposites and the potential for unity. It reminds us that seemingly opposing forces can come together in harmony, symbolizing the integration of the material and spiritual realms, like sister signs, right? We're opposites, but meet us in the middle. We work
also,
well.
When you look at the tarot, the High Priestess card, she's sitting between 2 pillars.
Yes.
And that's kind of like the 1 and the 1. And it represents a duality, like the light and the dark, the balance of light and dark energies.
Yeah, because one pillar is black and one's white, right?
I don't remember if they're different colors, but I think that's what they represent anyway.
Cool.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, it is.
Look at you.
Look at you. Yeah, right. All right, so we made it to the end of this list. We have one more for you guys, the 12-pointed star. So the flag of Nauru uses a 12-pointed star representing the 12 tribes on the island. The 12-pointed star is known as a dodecagram and is another powerful symbol that has been used since ancient times to represent various aspects of life and the universe. And the star can be drawn in 4 different ways, each with its own unique significance. So here are the ways that you can draw them as follows. So we have first the 12/2 12-pointed star, and this consists of 2 overlapping hexagons, and it can be drawn by connecting every second vertex in a dodecagon, a 12-sided polygon.
You know what this reminds me of? You remember spirographs?
Yes!
That's what it reminds me of.
It does, yeah. So 12/3, this star consists of 3 overlapping squares. It can be drawn by connecting every third vertex in a dodecagon. Then we have the 12/4 pointed star. This consists of 4 overlapping triangles and can be drawn by connecting every fourth vertex in a dodecagon. 12/5. This is a unicursal star that can be drawn in a single stroke without lifting the pen. It can be drawn by connecting every fifth vertex in a dodecagon. The 12/2 star, consisting of 2 overlapping hexagons, primarily symbolizes the 12 zodiac signs, categorized into feminine and masculine signs as shown in the image below. This star kind of looks more like a square, right? It's like it's 2 hexagons together, so the star isn't, it's like a wide star.
It's
and
blown out.
The points are very tiny. And this also kind of reminds me of, like, you know, the chakra map?
I don't think I've seen a circular chakra map.
Wait, let me see.
But like, yeah, if you put all the zodiacs in a circle and then put a point at each zodiac sign and every other one connect, and then the ones that are left over, connect all those, and that's where you get your 12 pointed star.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the masculine and feminine zodiac signs. So the 12/3 12-pointed star that has 3 overlapping squares represents the 3 important tetrads of the physical world.
So there's a red square, and those 4 corners are your cardinal directions.
Oh,
North,
okay,
east,
yeah.
south.
Yeah, so we have red, blue, and green. So red is north, east, south, west. The next square is green. And so we have fire, air, earth, water. And then this one's interesting. The blue square, which is inside both of the red and the green squares, they're rotated just a little bit. So then all the corners and points add up to like points of the star. So this last one, the blue square, is height, length, width, and time
Interesting.
measurements, right?
There's a lot that goes there's a couple more.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes on with this 12-pointed star.
The 12/4-pointed star consists of 4 overlapping triangles representing the 4 important triplicities of existence and the deep interconnection that exists between them. Now we're going super woo-woo here. Okay, so
4 different color triangles.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the previous one was squares. This one's triangles. So we have orange, pink, blue, and green. So the orange one is like your basic triangle, like upright triangle. The point is mind, then the bottom 2 are spirit and body. And then let's go with the green one next. That's this represents past, present, and future. Then we have blue, which is preservation, destruction, and creation. And then lastly, we have the pink triangle, which is dream state, deep sleep, and waking.
Cool. That's cool.
This is bizarre. This next one is kind of crazy. This one kind of reminds me of like I don't know, like some kind of space symbol or something.
Yeah, like the atom, atom.
Yeah. So the next 12-pointed star is the 12/5, and this can be drawn without lifting the pen. And this represents the 12 months in a year and the 12-hour clock. And this star embodies the concept of time and eternal cycle of life. So if you start at the top of January, you're going to go down, and that's going to be February. Then you're going to go up to the left, which is March, then diagonal to the right, which is April, diagonal to the left, May, up diagonal, which is June, down diagonal July, up diagonal August, down diagonal September, left diagonal October, right diagonal November, down diagonal December, and then December is going to go back up starting at the point that meets January. So this is like a never ending, like you could start at one point and not take your pen off the paper, which is pretty cool. Yeah. In Christianity, the 12-pointed star has been used to represent the 12 disciples of Jesus. In Judaism, it symbolizes the 12 tribes of Israel.
And we lied. That wasn't the last one.
There's not? Oh my God, 14.
12. But you know what? I didn't see a 13, but there is a 14.
Okay.
There's a 14-pointed star, and this in the Church of Nativity in Bethlehem, the traditional location of the birth of Jesus is marked by a silver star with 14 points that represents the 3 sets of 14 generations and the genealogy of Jesus. The flag of Malaysia uses the federal star. A 14-pointed star represented the unity between the 13 member states of the federal government, which we talked about before. I think it was the 11-pointed star was on the flag for Malaya, which was superseded by Malaysia. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So there is a 13-pointed star. So this in geometry. So a 13-pointed star is often called a tridecagram in geometry, and it's primarily associated with the number 13. It can symbolize transformation, rebirth, and the cycle of completion, often linked to ideas of rebellion against established norms, and in some contexts is connected to the concept of the 13th moon or lunar cycles beyond the standard 12-month calendar in historical terms. It can also represent the 13 original American colonies due to its appearance on early American flags. So some mystical interpretations about the 13th star. It's a powerful number signifying a connection to the beyond. And then lastly, the lunar cycles. The 13th moon is considered a time of intense transformation and renewal, further connecting the 13-pointed star to this concept.
We almost missed all of that.
Yeah. And a 13-pointed star is primarily a symbol for immortality. So like alchemy. I mean, there's a whole bunch more if you want to go into the secrets of the number 13, and there's sacred geometry, and there's a whole website here that I found here. And maybe whatever site that you found all of these numbered stars, maybe it skipped 13 because number 13 is often known as a symbol of bad luck. And you know, in hotels or like apartments, there's like never a level 13. They always
Yeah.
skip 13,
It
right?
could have. Yeah, for sure. I feel like you can go almost an infinite number of star points that to what you then cannot draw. So I'm sure there's like 15, 16, 17, 20 pointed stars,
Yeah.
but we won't take you that
Yeah.
far down
Yeah,
that
yeah.
road.
I think we're done with all that, with the
Let's do
pointed
some
stars.
fun stuff. Take me into pop culture.
All right. So this article is called "Why Are They, Quote, Stars" by Megan Garber. And so celebrities are celestial because of Shakespeare. And because of, how do you say this? Chaucer?
Chaucer?
And because of the weird workings of the movie camera. It makes so much sense to refer to certain kinds of celebrities as, quote, stars. At their heights, those people inspire the rest of us. They shine larger than life, above us and around us. They suggest in their insistent omnipresence a certain order to the world. To see the stars, or more specifically, to believe in them taxonomically, is to endorse a notion that the people before us on our screens, far from us and yet so close, exist, as the author Janine Bassinger puts it, on some plane between ours and that of the gods. I think this is like, sidebar, I think this is like more so back in the day when like we didn't have access to social media and we didn't have all of that like behind the scenes access to like what our favorite actor is eating for breakfast.
Exactly.
And, like,
Yes.
this was more so conceived at a time when like actors, people on the screens, they were so like unattainable, like
Yeah, exactly.
like a star, like that of a star, like you can't just reach.
It was more mysterious.
Right. Like I feel like the air of mystery has been kind of ruined with the invention of social media. Like all our favorite stars are now, we know they're just people like us. Like,
And do you think it's changed for them too? Like they just want to be people. Like they're like, I'm a person too. Yeah, but you make a lot of money.
Yeah. So like look at like Marilyn Monroe, Charlie Chaplin, like all like the old, movie stars on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
To be on a screen, that was
like elite.
Yeah.
Pinnacle.
So, right.
Impeccable.
Impeccable. So the article goes on to say, but why are they, quote, stars specifically? Why is Hollywood's Walk of Fame populated by pentagrams of pale pink rather than some other arbitrary shape? Why is it that stars, who we obviously and incorrectly are just like us? That answer has to do with Ovid and Shakespeare and Thomas Edison and Mary Pickford.
Oh.
Yeah. Stars are stars, certainly, because they sparkle and shine. Because even when they are bathed in the limelight, they seem to have an incandescence of their own. But they are stars, much more specifically, because they are part of Western culture's long-standing tendency to associate the human with the heavenly. They are stars because their audiences want them, and in some sense need them to be. The broad use of the word star to indicate a leader among us dates back. Peter Davis, a theater historian at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, told me to the Middle Ages Chaucer, who was also the first recorded user of the word celebrity and one of the first to use the word famous, also hinted at the lexical convergence of the human and the celestial. In The House of Fame, Chaucer's dreamer worries that he might find himself stellified. "O God, who made nature," the dreamer thinks, "am I to die in no other way? Will Jove transform me into a star?" Chaucer, Dean Swinford points out in his book Through the Damon's Gate, was recalling Ovid's notion of metamorphosis, the idea that humans could be transformed, in this case, into the shiny stuff of constellations. Chaucer's words also carried architectural implications that would likely have been apparent to his audiences. Quote, "Fixing with stars," Swinford points out, implies the creation of a mosaic-like decoration of the interior of a cathedral. The building was an intentional mimicry of the sky and an unintentional anticipation of Hollywood's own kind of firmament. It presented stars as a constellation of gleaming lights always above. It was through the wily dynamics of public relations that the term, quote, star in the United States was born. The U.S. weeklified version of stellification is in many ways a direct descendant of Chaucer's gleaming and sparkling and yet reassuringly omnipresent. Stars have long suggested a kind of order and orientation within chaotic human lives. They have long hinted that there is something bigger, something beyond, something more. And there's little surprise then that, especially as the world of science became more familiar with the workings of celestial bodies, the world of theater seized on their symbolism. Moliere, Peter Davis told me, made Chaucerian use of the personified, quote, star. In School for Wives in 1662, Horace describes Agnes as this, quote, young star of love adorned by so many charms. End quote. Shakespeare, too, neatly anticipated Hollywood's blending of the personal and the celestial in both his plays and his poems. Quote, we make guilty of our disasters the sun, the moon, and stars, end quote. Edmund laments in King Lear, as if we were villains on necessity, fools by heavenly compulsion. Love, too, in Shakespeare's mind, makes its highest sense as a heavenly force, reassuring in its constancy. In Sonnet 116, the bard finds love to be an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose worth's unknown, although his height be taken.
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
All right, let's talk about stars in ancient art and culture. Civilizations of yore idolized the stars and did much to utilize them in their art and cultural practices. For instance, in the ancient myths of Egypt, stars were illustrations of the souls of the deceased, their guiding force through the afterlife, mirrored in the hieroglyphs and carvings so finely inscribed and wrought into every tomb. The ancient Greeks and Romans held great esteem and regard with respect to the stars because they considered them as gods and goddesses, and thus represented them in their sculptures, paintings, as beings of superhuman divine nature's influence over Earth. The stars were not only spiritual entities, but they also reflected in power and authority. For instance, in ancient Mesopotamia, kings and rulers were made special by their connection with certain stars that they thought to give these rulers the divine right to rule. And in modern art and culture, the allure of stars continues to captivate artists in the modern era. From the Impressionist movement to contemporary art, stars have been a reoccurring motif. Artists like Van Gogh, we spoke about earlier, were particularly fascinated by stars, using them as symbols of spirituality and inner emotion. His iconic painting, Starry Night, exemplifies the power of stars to evoke a sense of wonder and introspection. They have become a symbol of fame, stardom, representing the pursuit of dreams and aspirations. Moreover, stars have become deeply ingrained in fashion, with designers incorporating star motifs into clothing, accessories, and tattoos. And the star symbolizes individuality, uniqueness, and the desire to stand out from a crowd. Yes.
Did you know that celebrities that have a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, they pay for that star?
Did they really?
Did you know that? Yeah,
No.
I didn't know that till like recently. I think it's like something like $75,000, which is like pocket change probably to like the world's richest celebrities. But like I always thought that was like a title that was
Bestowed
gifted to
upon
them.
you. Yeah.
Right?
What? That's like giving yourself your own nickname. What the fuck?
Right. Yeah, like they gotta pay for that shit.
That's messed up.
I don't know if it's like an application process. I don't know if they like have to apply and then it's got to be accepted by the board, which has to deem them worthy enough to have a star on the Walk of Fame first.
Okay, so the Stinas can't ring up $75,000 and get a star on the Walk of Fame. That's not how that works.
We raised $11,000. We could do that. We could do it. And then people would come across and be like, who the fuck are these bitches? And then Stevie Nicks would be like, oh, they're the Stinas. You didn't hear their song, All Hallows Eve?
We worked on that song together.
In the Practical Magic 2 soundtrack?
Yeah, it's called All Hallows Eve. Yeah.
We are a whole other level of the Anyway, we're gonna move on over to stars in classic literature. We talked a little bit about Shakespeare before, but we're gonna talk a little bit more about him now. So, in classic literature, stars often serve as symbolic entities that represent destiny, fate, and the vastness of the universe. William Shakespeare frequently employed star imagery to convey themes of love, fate, and cosmic significance in his plays. The famous quote, "Star-crossed lovers," from his tragedy Romeo and Juliet, epitomizes the profound influence of stars in shaping the lives of individuals. Shakespeare's use of stars goes beyond mere symbolism. He delves into the complexities of human emotions and the cosmic forces that shape our lives. In A Midsummer Night's Dream, the characters find themselves entangled in a web of love and mischief under the watchful gaze of the stars. The celestial bodies become silent witnesses to the chaos and enchantment that unfolds in this play. And I love that. Did you ever see the movie with Michelle Pfeiffer?
No, I have not, but Mallory loves this play. I tried to
Yeah.
read the book. Couldn't get through it. I couldn't get through it. I need to
I
watch the
feel
movie.
like most Shakespeare is pretty hard to get through.
Yeah.
Unless you're like you have to read it for like an English course or something. Like in high school we read a lot of Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Um
But I was even listening to the audiobook and I'm like, I'm gonna put
you know
this
what?
down.
I feel like Shakespeare is most enjoyable when it's presented in film format on a screen.
As
And
it was supposed
given
to be.
yeah, and given like, aesthetic and visuals and like I'm a very visual, like not even learner, but just like I like to take in information visually.
Yeah. It needs an actor's portrayal.
Exactly. And not everybody like is down with the whole old English stuff. Like
Right,
that's
right.
hard to follow a lot of the time
You're
for
right.
like your everyday commoner, like
Philistine, the commoner.
But great movie. It's
Okay.
really funny.
Okay.
So similarly, authors like Virginia Woolf and F. Scott Fitzgerald imbued their writings with celestial imagery, using stars as metaphors for desires, dreams, and unattainable goals. In Woolf's novel, To the Lighthouse, the character Lily Briscoe gazes at the stars, contemplating the vastness of the universe and her place within it. The stars become a reflection of her own aspirations and the limitations imposed by society. Fitzgerald, in his masterpiece, The Great Gatsby, uses stars to symbolize the unattainable American dream. The character Jay Gatsby, with his extravagant parties and grand illusions, reaches for the stars in his pursuit of wealth and love. However, like the distant celestial bodies, his dreams remain just out of reach, forever shimmering on the horizon. That's another great movie. Well, obviously it was the book classic first, but when Baz Luhrmann redid it, who also did Moulin Rouge and Strictly Ballroom and
Elvis.
Romeo and Juliet with Claire Danes and Leonardo DiCaprio, another Shakespeare. He did do his own thing of The Great Gatsby with Leonardo DiCaprio and I was gonna say Jake Gyllenhaal. What's
Toby?
his fucking Tobey Maguire. Yeah, Tobey Maguire. That movie was so
It's
good.
beautiful. Yeah, it's really good. Sad story.
So good.
Very good.
Especially if you like 1920s, like the flapper era, the glitz and the glam, and like
The champagne.
such a good movie.
Cool.
As far as stars in contemporary poetry, contemporary poets have continued to explore the allure of stars, infusing their verses with celestial metaphors and imagery. Poets such as Mary Oliver and Billy Collins have skillfully incorporated stars into their works, evoking a sense of awe, wonder, and connection to the cosmos. Mary Oliver, known for her contemplative and nature-inspired poetry, often turns her gaze to the night sky, finding solace and inspiration in the stars. In her collection, American Primitive, she writes, quote, "The stars began to burn through the sheets of clouds. There was a new voice which you slowly recognized as your own," end quote.
Oh, pretty.
Oliver's words invite readers to look up at the stars and discover their own voice amidst the vastness of the universe. Billy Collins, on the other hand, approaches stars with a touch of humor and wit. In his poem, The Night House, he playfully imagines a house that only comes alive at night, where the stars become the occupants and the moon serves as the landlord.
Cute.
Yeah, it's cute. Collins's whimsical portrayal of stars reminds us of their enduring presence in our lives, even when we are unaware of their silent presence. Moreover, spoken word poetry has embraced the theme of stars as a source of inspiration and reflection. Poets often employ vivid descriptions of celestial bodies to ignite the imagination and evoke profound emotions in their audiences. Through powerful performances and evocative language, spoken word poets bring the stars down to earth, making them accessible and relatable to listeners. Stars continue to shine brightly in the realm of literature and poetry, illuminating the human experience and inviting us to ponder the mysteries of the universe, whether they serve as a symbol of destiny, metaphors for desires, or sources of inspiration. Stars remind us of our place in the grand cosmic tapestry and the infinite possibilities that lie within reach. And spinning off of this whole section about stars in contemporary poetry, I love, like I was just actually reading a Francesca Leah Block book. I have all of her books, by the way. She's from LA and she writes a lot of poetry and also novels and short stories and fiction. And she incorporates a lot of like LA, like the Star Walk of Fame. She mentions Charlie Chaplin a lot, Marilyn Monroe, Jane Mansfield. She references a lot of like stars from back in the heyday of like the silver screen, and she also incorporates a lot of Greek mythology, and she makes certain characters certain Greek mythology
Cool.
characters, and the way she just like writes and incorporates all these elements of poetry and myth, it's beautiful how she writes. I'm obsessed with her works, and I will never not like want to read one of her books. When I feel like I want more of a connection to like those themes, I just dive right into her books. She's fascinating.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
I would, yeah. I think most of my Goodreads recommendations are her books.
Okay. I gotta dip my toe in there. I have so many
Yeah.
books to read.
I know.
Awesome.
It's
What's your favorite one that you would start with?
Well, I feel like if you want to start off with one of her books, the most popular one, it's her Weetsy Bat books, which there were like multiple like different books that she released independently, but then ultimately she released a compilation called Dangerous Angels, which is all of them smushed into one compendium.
Oh,
So if you want all of the Weetsy Bat books in one, read Dangerous Angels
Okay.
because it kind of encompasses all that. But she's got so many other like little like offshoots of like little short stories and books and novels and stuff. So I would recommend them all because
that's cool.
she takes like the glitz and the glamour of like Hollywood, but then she like has like a darker, grungier spin on it.
I like that.
But
That's
then
cool.
also incorporates elements of fantasy as well and mythology. So it's really cool how she writes.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about stars in paintings and sculpture. We touched on Van Gogh earlier, but here's a little bit more about some other artists. Throughout history, painters and sculptors have used stars to create ethereal and captivating artworks. The Impressionists, such as Claude Monet and Pierre-Auguste Renoir, often include starry elements in their landscapes, adding a touch of luminosity and enchantment to their creations. Imagine standing in front of Monet's Starry Night over the Rhone, where the stars twinkle and shimmer, reflecting on the tranquil waters of the river. The stars in the paintings transport us to a dreamlike realm, evoking a sense of wonder and awe. Moreover, contemporary artists have embraced the use of stars in their paintings and sculptures, experimenting with different materials and styles. This incorporation of stars adds depth, spirituality, and cosmic energy to the visual arts. One such contemporary artist is Yayoi Kusama, known for her immersive installations filled with polka dots. Oh, and stars. I think I know this person. Her work, Infinity Mirrored Room, The Souls of Millions of Light Years Away, transports viewers into a cosmic space where countless stars surround them, creating a sense of infinite wonder and introspection. You know what I always wanted to do, but I never got to? They had that Van Gogh like immersive museum at one point.
Yeah, I went to that.
How was that?
It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the beginning, the entrance of that experience was almost cooler than the experience itself.
Oh, cool.
They have like installation pieces and like it was like in a warehouse in like New York City.
Yeah.
And it was just wild. The gift shop was beautiful.
Okay.
I bought so much shit from there. And then the installation, the actual show itself was pretty cool. You just go into this room and it's just like blank
Like
white walls.
projected,
And
right?
it's just like projected like artwork of Van Gogh, but it's like there's also like a musical soundtrack. So it's super immersive and like you're listening to this beautiful music while watching this beautiful art. And it's
Ooh, take an
wild.
edible right before.
Oh my
like,
God,
chill out.
you would trip balls. Yeah. Yes. It was cool.
So let's talk about song lyrics and album art. Justina, I'm sure you can name like a billion star songs off the top of your head, but let's talk about the countless song lyrics that pay homage to celestial bodies that adorn our skies. Musicians use stars as metaphors for love, dreams, and the pursuit of happiness, weaving them together in a fabric of their compositions. When we listen to songs like Starman by David Bowie or A Sky Full of Stars by Coldplay, we're transported to a world where stars become more than just balls of gas in the universe. They become symbols of hope, inspiration, and infinite possibilities that lie within our reach. In addition, album art often incorporates star imagery to visually convey the mood and theme of music. From psychedelic rock albums to modern pop releases, stars frequently occupy a central role in the design and aesthetic of album covers. Imagine holding an album cover adorned with mesmerizing images of starry night sky as you get. Doesn't your brother have a starry album cover?
He's got the moon, like the very first What was the episode that we did?
Daguerreotype.
Daguerreo, yes. He has the daguerreotype of the moon as his album cover.
Okay. Yeah. So it just transports you to a different realm where melodies and celestial bodies intertwine. So the one song I wanted to highlight here is called Stars, and it's off the Les Mis soundtrack, and it's sung by Javert. And it's my favorite song on the soundtrack, and specifically the one sung by Philip Quast, and it's the 10th anniversary Les Mis. So if you enjoy the song as much as I do, I want to recommend this link. It's going to be here in our notes. You can just search it as well, where the actor Philip Quast gives a masterclass on the how and why of his deliverance of the song. Javert is having this complete introspective breakdown, and this I'm going to read you some of the lyrics from the song. And it's funny that you mentioned order earlier on. You were talking about how stars represent order. So the part in the song goes like this: stars in your multitude, scarce to be counted, filling the darkness with order and light. You are the sentinels, silent and sure, keeping watch in the night, keeping watch in the night. You know your place in the sky, you hold your course and your aim, and each in your season returns and returns and is always the same. And if you fall as Lucifer fell, you fall in flames. Yeah, so in this video, Philip Quast dissects the song, and he talks about the battle and the antithesis within the song that encapsulates and framed by the stars, as it were.
Yeah.
But it was so cool to hear the actor's deliverance and like why he stresses certain words within the song. I love this song so much. It's my favorite one on the soundtrack for sure.
It's pretty cool. I'm gonna check this video out.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of like just a reminder to, like, so many people are chasing after, whether it's a dream or a goal or whatever. Most people are so focused on the end result, the end goal. Like, once you get that, then what?
Yeah.
So it's like a nice reminder to just remember the journey, because what's Miley Cyrus say? The journey is the best part of it.
We haven't had that in a long time.
Best part anyway.
Yeah, so remember the journey and don't focus so much on the end result, but like enjoy getting there, whether you end up getting there or not.
Any songs come to mind for you?
God, I'm sure there's so many. Rewrite the Stars from The Greatest Showman, one of my favorite songs. Rewrite the Stars with Zendaya and what's his fucking name? Zac Efron.
Yeah.
The City of Stars from La La Land. That's a really cute movie if you're into the Hollywood thing. Like, it's kind of like it's a modern movie, and it's not really like about old Hollywood, but it's like these newer actors trying to make it in Hollywood. And it's got an old Hollywood film dance musical kind of vibe. So I love that movie. Lucky Star by Madonna. Yeah, Starman by David Bowie. I started writing a song called Starry Night a while ago. I never finished it. I think I got up to like the first chorus and I never came back with a second verse. But yeah, I should finish writing it.
Revisit that.
Yeah, maybe I will. This episode was the perfect inspiration.
Good.
Yeah.
Patron bonus?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'll upload what I've done so far, because like I haven't touched it in quite a while, but yeah. I guess we'll end this episode off with talking about some stars in film and television. So film and television industries have also utilized stars as powerful symbols and thematic devices. Sci-fi movies often explore the mysteries of the universe, presenting stars as gateways to new worlds and dimensions. From classics like 2001: A Space Odyssey to recent blockbusters like Interstellar. Dude, Interstellar, have you seen that movie?
I've seen it. That soundtrack is awesome.
Blows my mind.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil this for anybody, but I think, like, after seeing that movie, ghosts, the whole concept of ghosts, like, completely makes me believe that ghosts are just us from another timeline coming back to, like, give ourselves a message about something.
Wow. Yeah.
Right?
Cool.
Yeah. So Interstellar, stars have played a pivotal role in shaping the narrative and visual landscape of science fiction films. They represent the vastness of the cosmos, the unknown, and the potential for human exploration and discovery. Furthermore, stars play an integral role in cinematic storytelling, guiding protagonists through their journeys and representing their hopes and aspirations. Whether it's a twinkling star in the night sky or a Hollywood superstar on the silver screen, stars have a magnetic pull of the world of film and television. Think about the iconic scene in The Lion King where Simba looks up at the night sky and sees the stars forming the shape of his father, Mufasa. In the moment, the stars become a symbol of guidance, reminding Simba of his purpose and the legacy that he carries. Stars have the power to transport us to different realms, evoke emotions, and ignite our imagination. They remind us of our connection to the universe and the infinite possibilities that lie beyond our reach. Whether they are shining the night sky or gracing the pages of a songbook or a film script, stars continue to inspire and captivate us, leaving an indelible mark of the world of music and
That's right.
yeah.
There's probably so much more we missed. There's
Oh,
so
I
many
know.
different little tendrils to go down, little avenues and paths as far as all of our topics are concerned.
Yeah. Another book that I do want to recommend after reading that paragraph about stars being integral roles in storytelling and guiding protagonists through their journeys.
Mhm.
There's a book called The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I think he's a Brazilian or Portuguese author.
Okay.
I first heard about this book back in like, I don't even know, like 2010, 11, around that time. You know, I was kind of like at a weird, like, I didn't know where I wanted to go with my music and everything like that. And I was watching a lot of like not documentaries, like interviews with artists who have, you know, celebrities and famous people who are giving their own spin on like how they got to where they wanted to go.
Mhm.
And I was watching an interview, I think it was Oprah interviewed Pharrell.
Wow.
And he was talking about how that book changed his entire life and outlook on achieving his dreams.
Wow.
So I read that book. I ate it up. It's so good. It's about an Andalusian shepherd boy, and he meets a cast of characters along the way, and like he follows like the breadcrumbs to get him to his ultimate destiny. So it's kind of like a book like that if you guys are interested about books that have to do with personal journeys and personal growth and, you know, seeing the
Hero's
signs.
journey.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of book that it is. The
Cool.
hero's
That's
journey.
cool.
So check that out. It's called The Alchemist. I'll put it on our list on our show notes if anybody wants to read that.
Very
So,
good.
yeah.
Hope that covered stars enough for the time being.
Yeah.
I keep reminding myself we can always revisit topics with new information that comes
Yeah.
to us or inspires us.
Right.
So, you know, we appreciate you guys tuning in for this part 2 of Stars. If you'd like to help support the podcast, here's how.
You can check out all of the sources pertaining to today's episode via our hero page. The link is in our show notes. And thanks again to our patron and Palmiers for creating this app and keeping creators like us organized. If you guys do want to support the podcast on Patreon, you can support us for as little as $1 a month. That's our seedling tier, and that gets you access to our patron-only polls where you get to weigh in on what topics you would like us to talk about next. It also gets you our monthly calendar so you can see what topics we have coming up for the month, and it also gets you a welcome shout out on the show. Our $3 Lavender Bud tier gets you our show notes for each episode in an aesthetically pleasing PDF, our after hours posts, if there's any extra tidbits or behind the scenes info pertaining to any of our episodes. We'll post those along with a blog post or extra photos, and access to our specially curated Spotify playlists. We have created playlists for our WMSR episodes as well as Production Dream playlists for each song episode, and more. Our $5 Lilac tier gets you access to our private Facebook community where we host a monthly live stream. Plus, you'll get access to our Discord server where we host our monthly watch parties. And also on the Discord, you can join in on the discussion with other Magnolia Street neighbors via the various interesting channels and threads. And then here's the $8 Rose tier. This gets you access to extra audio-visual content such as a once a month full-length video episode, unlimited bonus videos, uncut footage, cutting room floor footage, bloopers, outtakes, meditations, exclusive interviews, and old home videos from the vault, or spell or ritual videos, and more. It also gets you bonus content to coincide with our song-episodes, such as full-length demo streams of our original Practical Magic inspired music, plus lyric sheets, guitar chords, and original scratch demos, or bonus video performances of our songs and more. Lastly, we have our $15 Wisteria Vine tier. Just like a twisting Wisteria Vine, there's a way for you to stay connected with us, the Stinas. In this tier, we invite you to join our private Marco Polo video messaging app. The app is totally free for both Android and iOS. Sign up with your phone number or email, and we will help you do the rest. This is a great way to chat with each other in a more intimate group setting, face-to-face via video recording. We love to show each other our pets, our gardens, or anything else you'd like to share. And just a reminder that the higher the tier you sign up under, the more rewards you get, because you get all of the rewards of the tiers below it. You can upgrade or downgrade or even cancel at any time. So to support the podcast, head to Patreon patreon.com/Magnolia Street Podcast.
Yeah, and there are additional ways to support us and our podcast that don't cost you any money. If you do listen on Spotify, please give us a star rating. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, please give us a written review. We love sharing those on our Instagram. And if you're on Instagram, we would really appreciate any reposts or blurbs about our podcast. And make sure to tag us at Magnolia Street Podcast in your feed, posts, stories, and share us with your practical magic loving friends. We
Yeah.
also have merch. If you want to get in on that triquetra action, go check out our triple hair design over on our Teespring. All of our links are over on our Instagram. Give us a rating on Spotify. Give a star rating. If you're on Apple Podcasts, please give us a written review. We love sharing those for our review crew. We'll post you up on Instagram. And then anything else, hit us up over on our Gmail, magnoliastreetpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, and next week we're going to be talking about auras, so stick around for that. That's going to be a good time.
It's going to give me Salem flashbacks.
I
Our
know.
aura reading.
I can't wait to like revisit that and talk about that again.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I
Good
think that's
seeing
all
you.
we have for today, right?
That's it.
All right. I'm Justina,
I'm Kristina.
and we'll see you next time.
At the house on Magnolia Street, would you